Hello, everybody, and welcome back to That Pretentious Book Club.
Welcome back. Woohoo.
That over there is one of your OG hosts, the lovely, the beautiful, the stunning, the premium plasma bearing Kendall Shaw, aka Dr. Spoons Palermo.
Hi, howdy. We'll explain that in a second.
Yeah.
And over there is the beautiful, the gorgeous, the smart, the witty Ash O'Rourke, but you can call her Wheezy.
It ain't easy being wheezy. I thank you so much for saying witty. I've been having moments lately where, and this is like particularly painful for me because I'm excessively arrogant, where I go, am I truly like, am I dumb? Like, am I real dumb? Like,
No,
I
shut
tend to think
up.
I'm very smart. And then I'll have moments where I'm like, a smart person would not do that, which you just did with your full chest. I'm like,
We all have blonde moments, okay? It's
yep.
fine.
I guess I have more than I would expect of myself. But I guess it just keeps things interesting. Anyways, if you guys don't want to hear nonsense and you only want to hear about the book, like once again, all the things, how are you here? What brought you here? We're glad you're here, but we're confused that you chose us. You can use the time code in the skip notes or in the episode description to skip ahead and just listen to the book. We're doing a classic. It's been a really long time, which is it's really great. It feels very weird to do a classic without spoons, which is probably why I simply have not done one. Also, I'm really scared to read a classic unless Kendall's there to explain it to me.
Oh, shush. That's not even true.
It's true. That is true, actually.
This one was very, I think, pretty accessible.
This one is
Don't
extremely accessible, so
don't
don't
you
be
think?
intimidated by that. Yeah. I was telling my mom about it. I was like, not to get into the book too early because God forbid we ever do that. But I was telling my mom, like, this is, you have
We'll
to
be
read
like
this book.
incinerated on site, I think, if we do that. Okay,
I
sorry, go
know,
ahead.
right?
Spontaneous combustion.
Yeah, for real. I'll just quickly say, reading this book, I was telling my mom, it was like, oh wow, we've always had all of the same problems. And like things that you think are like, is this just like a niche experience, something I alone am experiencing? And then the main character in this would like say or do something. And I was like, oh, so that's a universal thing. Okay, cool. And it's written in
Yes.
such a relatable way, even though, is it Victorian? This is Victorian.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
Victor, I don't want to use it incorrectly because then I would be incinerated on site upon your site. I'm
I
aware of
would
it.
incinerate you.
You would kindly sit me down, pat my hand, and explain to me for the 20th time.
Yes, this is a Victorian novel. Yes.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, but it's super relatable, so don't be intimidated. And all of that aside, Spoons, you want to share anything about your life? It has been a hot minute since we have been here. I mean, you and your
Sure.
plasma donating self.
It has. Yeah, I've been donating plasma, you guys. You should all donate plasma. Number one, because it helps people, because they need it for people need donations and such. Number two, because you get paid to do it at a lot of
Heck
places. So if
yeah.
you need a little extra cash, might
Go
as
donate
well
some
because it's a good
plasma.
cause. And it's not too crazy. You just have to be super hydrated. So yeah,
Probably
I've
couldn't do
been
it.
the day before you have to like make sure you drink a lot of water. But
Interesting.
it's good. And I've just been sitting there donating my plasma, reading the new Hunger Games book and like crying in the middle of the plasma place. And it's been great.
Nice. That's fantastic.
I'm
You were saying
deeply
it's like
obsessed with the new Hunger
fascinating.
Games book.
What's
Oh,
fascinating
the
about
plasma?
plasma? Yeah.
Well, it's just weird to like watch it go out because I don't know. I'm just like intrigued by it because I know nothing about medicine or hospitals or anything
Right?
unless
Yep.
Haley Podnurse tells me about it. So it's just interesting to be like, they'll be like, oh, yeah, well, at the end, you get some of your blood back? Question mark, something, or maybe
So
saline.
weird. They're
Anyway,
like,
but
we
it's like
only
room
need the
temperature.
plasma. Ooh.
Yeah. So when it goes back inside of you, you feel really, really cold for like 5 minutes, even though it's room temperature.
Ugh.
Isn't that weird?
That is freaky.
Yeah, it's just like weird stuff like that.
That's so
So anyway, I've
strange.
been doing plasma. And also today I went to the pool. Our pool is now open and we have a
Heck
lazy
yeah.
river. And
Oh,
it
that's
was so
so
fun. We were
nice.
like lazing about in the river and it was pretty great. And um oh yes, here's my sad news that I didn't tell you yet. Also
Oh,
today after plasma, I went to as if I'm an alcoholic, three liquor stores looking for rose syrup.
Uh-huh.
And I also was at HEB and nobody had any. So
Yep.
I don't have any rose in my drink. I have grenadine
No.
instead.
I almost did that actually.
Ugh. And so I'm so sad because it was specifically rose themed on purpose
I'm
because
sorry. Mine is rose
it's
because
okay.
I also couldn't find rose syrup and you were so diligent and determined to go. You persevered. I can't believe you tried more than one place. The fact that I was like, I am outside of a liquor store right now. What drink are we doing? And in my head, I'm thinking if I don't find out in the next 5 minutes, I'm going to simply use whatever I have at home and I will not be buying
Of
ingredients because I don't want to go
course.
out twice. And you're like going to multiple places for rose syrup. I had rose water at home. So I used rose water
There
and
you
then I
go.
just put in like a pack of stevia. So it would be like sweet like syrup, which
See,
is
and I didn't even think to get rose water until I was back at home already. And I
I
was like,
wouldn't have
I'm
thought
so
to buy it.
dumb.
If I didn't already have it, I wouldn't have thought to buy it. So, I mean, I bet yours is good too,
Yeah.
though. Probably just more tart.
It is good, but I'm glad that you're having the full experience.
I am. It's
Yeah,
like
it's
quite
pretty cool.
like it's like a pale pink. It looks like a rose, actually.
Oh, gorgeous. Look at
Funnily
that in your
enough, not
beautiful cup.
because, I mean, right, isn't it pretty? The rose water
Yeah.
is just the color of water, but the bitters that are in there are like
Mm.
red, and so it turned it like a really soft like pink, and because it's sparkling wine, it's like kind of like buttercup yellow and pink. So
Yes,
it's
a light little, that's gorgeous.
yeah, I think it's lovely.
I compensated by getting rosé, sparkling rosé instead of
Oh,
because
see,
I was like, well, at least it'll be somewhat
you know,
rosy. I don't know.
if you pronounce it the American way, that's rose wine. So you know what?
There you
You,
go. So
AKA the
I did
correct way. It's rose wine.
um
Last
yeah.
last episode with Gina, we made a joke about how I would have gotten my passport taken away in Italy, and I think I just got myself blacklisted from France too. My goal is every European country.
You're like, I don't even want to go. I didn't even
I
care
didn't want to
about
go
seeing Versailles.
anyways. No, I do want to go, but I want to have
Whatever.
to sneak in. I want the thrill of it. I want the risk
Oh,
of international prison. That's what I
I'll
want.
I'll smuggle you in my suitcase. How
Oh,
about that?
perfect. Okay,
And
I'm gonna have
yeah,
to like figure. I'm gonna have to like do a lot of yoga first. You know?
we'll work on that. We'll work on that. I don't have any current international plans, so we're
Okay,
good.
cool. Well, just if you
Yeah,
get a big suitcase and I do like a bunch of yoga.
yeah. I think we'll be fine.
Yeah, I think we got it. I could also just not piss off every European country, but that
I
seems
mean,
too easy.
Ash, don't even. We're not. We know that's not going to happen.
It's not. It's off brand for me. It's off brand for the pod. I can't violate my values like that.
Oh, brother, brother.
Yes, brother.
Well, yes, brother. Well, how are you doing? What
I'm
did you do
doing
today?
what did I did? Well, I did plan to work out. I'm wearing like workout clothes, and I was
Nice.
recently informed by my husband that workout clothes don't have to be either paint stained like rag clothes or pajamas. And it just has never occurred to me to put any sort of effort into something to clothes I'm going to sweat in on purpose. Like
You're
that's
like
never
looking
occurred to
cute.
me.
What?
Why? Why would I do that while I'm exercising, looking at my worst? I was like, nobody looks cute when they exercise, Hobby. And he was like, I don't know. I've seen some people. And I was like, if you're talking about the girls who are in full makeup and eyelashes at the gym and their cute little Lulu, I don't want to hear it. Shut up, Javi. I don't want to hear it. Like, like that is not, they're there for different reasons. And even if they're not there for you. They're there for them. They're
Yeah, you're not
confident.
supposed
They're
to be
liking
liking
how they're
hobby.
feeling. Yeah, for
Good
so
for
many
them, but
reasons.
not good for you.
Yeah, good for them, not for you.
Yeah.
Exactly. Also, it's a level of effort that like most people don't have. You know, like my effort's
Yep.
going elsewhere. Like maybe she went to the gym that day, some random girl, and she's like, I'm gonna like look confident. I'm gonna do my hair, my makeup, my nails, put on my like really cute outfit. If that's what you go, girl, you go for it. I
Absolutely.
have I choose with my limited time instead of doing all that prep work before I go sweat it all off. I use my time for other things.
And
Like
that is completely you go girl, you
yeah,
know.
thanks. Thank you. Thank you very much. But I did buy some used clothes. All that said, I was like, I guess it'd be nice to have some like workout specific clothes. It's just never
Uh-huh.
occurred. I was doing like a rework like of all my wardrobe. Like I threw out four, not threw out, I donated like 4 bags of clothes, which I do this all the time. So I was like, how do I have this many clothes? But
It's
I'm
a
like,
mystery how it piles up. I have
it
no
is
idea.
freaky. It is so freaky, but it's kind of like a capsule wardrobe kind of system that I'm going with now, but like not as minimalistic because I
Hmm.
can't do like the minimalism.
No, no,
Um,
that's
but
not
it's
us.
significant. No, it ain't. It's so pared down.
Listen, we like cute stuff, okay?
We do. Do
We
you
do.
see the background? If you're watching this on YouTube, do you see all of the items around us? Everyone's
We
like,
like
we were
items, so sue us.
overstimulated. Yeah.
Yeah.
So sue us. We like items. I need that on a t-shirt. That's really funny.
Honestly, I do actually. We should get Maddie to make that shirt for us.
We absolutely should. I like items, so sue me. Oh, I'm literally writing
Me
it
and
down.
Greg from the Night Court love items.
Oh, amazing. Yes. Hi, Lord Greg of the
Well,
Night Court.
well, I like that color, like that royal blue you've got
Thank
on. Is
you.
that part of
I
your
It is. This is one of them. I learned I took like a test that said that I'm a warm spring. I'm like
mm,
I have no idea what that means, but apparently it means some colors and shockingly like brighter colors look better on me, which is
nice.
very strange because I if you see me in person, you're like, that's a ghost. Like so very white. But my undertones are a mixture of warm and cool. So the way the internet phrases it is that you can look good in anything. But the way it actually works is that you don't look good in anything because everything looks a little bit.
Okay, okay. Hmm.
Yeah, so that's really what it means to be a true spring or a warm spring. Apparently they're used
Hmm.
interchangeably. Anyways, so br some brighter colors. And I was like, okay, well, there's some bright colors I'm simply never going to wear. I'm never going to wear fluorescent orange. I'm never going to wear like hot pink. I'm
You're
probably
like
not going to wear
drawing
a
those
ton of
lines
yellow.
now.
I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I'm not doing it. I hate purple. Do not put me in,
Mm.
I hate it. And
And that's your
so,
right,
thank
you
you.
know?
It is. It absolutely. And so now I'm going to do what I, this is the second day in a row I've been like, I'm going to try and get my leg up here in the camera. I want you to see how coordinated, I'm a coordinated girly. Look at this. My leggings perfectly
Oh,
match.
I
Can
see
you see
that.
it?
I saw
Which is
it.
insane. The fact that I have my leg up and no one can see it because of my green screen. Make the
Your
comeback.
hand in the back. I saw it though. You
That
looked
was
coordinated.
Thank you. That thing that was not my arm that just flashed by, but that was my leg. But it's like the exact same color blue, which was amazing because I got these used off ThreadUp, so I didn't know if they were going to be like
Amazing. I
accurate.
love ThreadUp.
Yeah,
You
me
were
too.
the one who told me about ThreadUp, I think.
I tell everybody about ThreadUp. I'm like, have you heard of ThreadUp? It's amazing because I'm one of those. No one will ever know I got this dress for $7. I like your dress. Thank you. I got it for $7.
Thank you. It has pockets. I got it for $7.
I got it for $7 on ThreadUp. Can I show you ThreadUp? Come here. Can I download it on your phone? Here, can you unlock your phone for me? We're gonna download it together.
Oh my God. Ash, I'm gonna come over sometime soon and we're just gonna shop on ThreadUp together. Okay. We don't even have to
Can
buy
we
it. We're just
please?
gonna look.
Do you remember when we
That
did
sounds fun.
that for like Christmas skirts or something
Yes,
once?
that
One
was
of the
fun. Well, you
best
were
girl times
going,
we've had.
that was so fun. And you were going on your trip to with Javi to
Virginia.
Colonial Williamsburg. Yeah.
Yes.
And we were like, oh, that would be great for Colonial Williamsburg.
That would be perfect. It's so Colonial Williamsburg, you
That
know?
is so you in Colonial Williamsburg.
It is. It's giving Colonial Williamsburg.
That's like one of the little tags they put on it, like Colonial Williamsburg question mark.
Oh
Oh
my
my
gosh.
God.
Yeah.
Well,
Anyways,
I'm
that's what
apparently
I've been doing.
a true winter, is what I found out.
Oh,
And so
I'm
that means
so
that
jealous.
I'm one of the few people who, quote, can wear black. So I'm like very
That makes
pleased with that
sense. You look
because I
gorgeous in black.
have always been told that. People are always like, oh, you look great today. Always when I'm wearing black. Unfortunately, I am someone who loves to wear pale pink, which is
Ah.
unfortunately the same color as my exact skin tone. So it doesn't really work out for me, but whatever. It's just a
Well, you do look
suggestion, you
amazing
know?
in black. I feel like that tells you there's got to be something to like the whatever like season you are because I've never been told I look good in black. I have been told on most occasions as an adult when I've worn black, "Oh, are you going to a funeral?" Not as a joke because it looks so, I just doesn't look
The veer
right.
on you, maybe, or yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
I
very
think you
strange.
look beautiful in anything, of course.
Thank you.
But I
I
do
think
think
you
there
do
might be
too.
something to it. Oh, thank you.
And I was
I'm
just
like,
looking at like the true winter colors and thinking, oh wow, those are so nice. So you have my favorite color palette. I hope you enjoy it.
oh, that's kind of romantic of us if you think
That
about
actually
it.
is kind of romantic of us.
Oh my
Not for the
God.
first
I'm
time.
gonna
Hey,
look at
hubby,
your
could you
color
get out of here?
palette.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, get him out. This isn't about him.
No, nope. Hobby's been saying that to Riley lately. There's my other fun update.
This isn't
Because
about you.
this isn't about you, Riley. It's not all about you because bless him. I'm so excited. You're gonna probably see him next week, I would hope, because we're
Yeah, I
gonna hang out
am.
next week. I
Yeah, we
don't,
are.
maybe I'll keep him home from school that day. It might be easier anyways. But
Wait,
he is
let me
like
see
fully the
him.
size of a 3-year-old, which is like just the freakiest thing. Like it's just crazy. He's huge and so sweet, and he
He's
has
a big
such a
boy.
spunky little attitude. Yeah, he is a big boy. He's usually just like sweet as a peach, like big eyes, good listener, sweet snuggle boy. But then lately, he's getting these little like flashes of like, no, and he'll say it like scream it, not a tantrum. You'll be like, do you want another cookie? No. And you're like, wow, that's a really strong reaction to an offer for another cookie.
Whoa, okay, fine. You don't have to
And
have
then
a
he just
cookie.
like, exactly. And then he'll just like walk off all happily. And his head bobbles when he's happy and he like walks around. So it's not like a rage thing. He's just loud. And he does fuss more with me than he does with Hobby, I can't remember if I said this last episode or not, but like lately it's been driving me bananas. Like it's so sweet and I love to see it, but also it breaks my heart because I'm so jealous. The very first thing Riley does in the morning is ask for Dada. The very last thing he does at night
Oh,
is ask for Dada. I turn on the light in the morning and go, "Hey, bug, you ready to wake up?" And then he looks up with his little sleepy eyes in the crib and he goes, "Dada." And I'm like, "Bro,
like, come on,
unbelievable."
dude. Come on.
Come
Really?
on, has Dada
Like,
ever gotten you up for school? No. Unbelievable. But yeah, and he just
he'll grow
like
out of it.
maybe he's grown into it because he was definitely, I mean, he's always like really loved Dada, but he had like the mama's boy thing and like my heart really loved it. And then he like hit
Yeah.
18 months and it was like a switch. And now he's like, get out of my way, mom. Literally, he will lay on Javi's chest and grab Javi's face with his little baby hands and he'll just
Oh,
stare into his eyes and then just look at his face and then just stare into his eyes and he'll just go back and do it over and over and over again. I said, "Hey Riley, I sure would like some eye contact. Can I look at your pretty eyes?" And he pushed me out of the way. And I was like, my heart is shattered.
that is so rude of Mr.
So
Riley. I
rude.
am so sorry. I love him. You know, I love him. That is rude.
It was so rude.
I'm gonna have a word with him.
I know it was, I mean, he was like, I just want to open the liquor cabinet, please. Because he doesn't know it's liquor back there. He just knows they're little doors. And he's like, that's a
Of
me-sized
course.
door, mom. Out of my
It's
way.
perfect.
Door for
Yeah.
me.
My door now. Of course.
Yeah. So that's
Oh,
funny.
baby.
And
I can't wait to see him soon.
he is going to when I'm at the writing retreat, which is going to be really weird that you're not there, but that just means that you have to plan to come to the one in the fall, which
Well, of
will be in a
course.
cool place, so that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Um, but anyway, so while I'm at the retreat, um, my mom and my stepdad are going to take him to a beer can collectors convention because because my stepfather, Greg, he does not drink beer. He does not like beer. He doesn't drink wine.
Okay.
He sometimes drinks margaritas, but he doesn't drink beer. But
That's
he
fair.
collects vintage beer cans and beer bottles. That's
I
like, it's
love
been his
knowing this
thing
about
since he
Greg.
was like, oh, it's crazy. It's wild. There is I was going to say almost, it might now be floor to ceiling pyramid of beer cans in his office. And that is a fraction of the collection. It's their
Oh my
whole
God.
garage.
I love
And
people with weird collections. I love it.
right? It's
Yes.
great. It makes him so happy. I love it. It's very weird that my
Yeah.
child had not even been exposed to that. And I mean, I think you've known this about him. His thing is his comfort item is cans. Like soda can, beer can, doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
He loves a can and he'll just carry it around. Hobby got
Sure.
him a little
They're nice.
ornament
They're
like a can.
handheld. Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. They're kind
It's
of
kind of
comforting, kind of
cold.
solid.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice. And so he's going to love it. that he gets to go with them because cans everywhere. When Greg took him into his office the other day to show him all of the beer cans, Riley looked up and went, "Wow." And then he pointed out the door at me and said, "Wow." And then
Oh
looked
my
back at the
God.
cans. Like, you seeing this?
He's
Crazy.
like, dude, this is insane. Like,
Dude,
this is
this
the
is
best day of
like
my life.
legit. So,
He is gonna love it. Oh, it's so exciting.
yep, my little dork. So I guess
Little
that's my
Riley.
update is my matching workout clothes. I'm trying to trick the camera into showing my leggings as if I can trick the green
Swing that
screen.
leg up.
I did. I'm so proud of myself
No,
though.
we saw it. Yeah, we saw it.
Thanks. Thank
Me and
you.
the YouTube
You're like,
people
just
saw it.
don't do it again. Please hurt
No,
yourself.
like it's really fine, Ash. We got it. We
No, no, no,
totally
wait,
got
I
it.
swear we saw it. We saw it. We saw it.
You're good, dude. You're good. Yeah, looking great.
Yeah, I love it. I love that on you. That's totally your color. Oh
Oh my
God.
God. That is
Well,
so like warm spring. Like that
so
is so
warm
you.
spring, so warm spring core. Do people still say core for
I
things?
do.
You do? Okay,
Lately
so do
I've been
I, but
saying that I am something pilled. Like I've been saying like,
interesting.
oh, I'm so Haymitch Hunger Games book pilled. Which is
That's
so
amazing.
stupid.
That's
But
hilarious.
anyway, that's my new thing.
I did get kind
I'm
of
a
fourth wing pilled. I will admit that. This
Did
feels like a good
you?
use. I did get
Okay.
kind of fourth
I
wing
do want to catch
pilled.
up on the fourth wing thing because that happened while I was kind of like away and busy. So I didn't really get to see what happened there. But
I am so
are
curious to
you
see what
into
you think
it?
about it. Yes and no. I
Okay.
rated it quite well because I really enjoyed it and I love the world
Okay.
building. However, it's got some spicy scenes in it. Spicy
Yes, I've
scenes
heard that.
aside, when we got to the end of book two, I'm really angry and I don't want to read book three. I
I
might be one of the only people that feels this way. But so
don't
now I'm
think
upset.
you are. I think a lot of people have issues with book three
Okay, good.
or
So,
wherever we are now currently.
yeah. Yeah, book
Haley's
three just
reading it
came
right now and
out.
she's mad as well. So
Okay, good.
yeah,
Yeah,
you
that's
guys
good to
should
know it's
talk.
not just me. Oh, we should. It's dragons and like it's just like a really cool world building.
Mm,
I didn't think I
yeah.
was gonna like it because it felt like a fad. And there are pieces of it that kind of like are a little bit more like fad-ish. And that's the part where I'm
Hmm.
like resist because I'm like I can't like what the rest of the popular culture likes. It hurts me. So
No, no, I'm too unique.
I'm too unique for this. I'm an individual. But yeah.
I'm special. Nah, I'm the main character.
I don't like it. I don't like it. Although then when I recorded an episode with Lacey and Maddie, they were like, "Wow,
Yeah.
you know what? The main character has a lot in common with you, Ash." And I was like, "Actually, I think I love this book. I'm going to give it five pinkies up."
Like, yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. And
I was actually thinking the exact same thing. I'm so glad that you said it first. Did I actually wasn't thinking that, so I was very flattered when they said because my main
that is
character
sweet.
syndrome. But I
Yeah,
did go like fully dressed in character as the main character. Just because I wanted to dress themed and her clothes are badass.
I love
Like,
that. I absolutely love that. I've heard that they kind of dress at this dragon Hogwarts as if they're in in
yes.
Dauntless.
Yep. Basically, yes.
Okay.
That's basically
Yeah.
exactly it. It's really good. It's
That's
really
my
good.
outside point of view from
I
that.
enjoyed
So
it
yeah.
immensely. I'm not as crazy into it as Maddie and Lacey. I think they would be like, it's essentially flawless. I don't feel exactly that strongly about
And you
it, but
know
I
what?
liked
I
it.
love that for them.
Me
I
too.
absolutely love that for
I
them.
love it so much. And my mom is reading it, and I think Lacey said her mom is obsessed with it. Her grandma is reading
Oh,
it now.
her grandma.
Um,
Oh my God, that's like how me and my mom and my grandma all watch Bridgerton. And then we talk about it, and I have to think about the fact that my grandma watched Bridgerton.
well, as Lacey said, that her grandma said she warned her grandma that there's spicy scenes in it. You guys have all heard this if you watch the episode, but her grandma said, "Well, it's nothing I ain't already heard before," which is like,
That's fair.
that's a good point. That's a very
That's
good
totally
point.
fair. Yeah.
But
She's a
apparently
grandma.
Gino hated it. I could be overstating that, but I'm
Oh,
pretty sure Gino said that she hated Fourth Wing. So I'm like,
okay.
now
You
I'm
know,
like, I
that
need to
doesn't
know what
surprise me
Carissa
either.
thinks of it,
I am curious about Carissa.
right?
Let's, I do want to know. Yeah, maybe we should
I
all
need
read
to
it and
know.
then I'll read it and I'll tell you what I think. And
Yes.
then I imagine I will have a similar reception as you. I
I would
imagine
think
I will be like,
so.
that was fun, but I won't be obsessed. That's how I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah,
But I'm not
I would
sure.
think so. I That would be
But
my guess
yeah,
as well. Carissa feels
I
like
don't
a
know about
wild
Carissa.
card because if Gina
Yes, it
really
could be
didn't like
anything.
it, then I'm like, I have no idea what to think about what Carissa's gonna think about it.
We have no frame of
I
reference.
have no frame
God.
of reference at all. Oh my gosh. But I have this instinct that I'm like, her take is probably the most correct take. It's the one I know the
Oh.
least about. It's the one I understand the least.
Unfortunately, she is the most literate of all of us. So there's
She is by far. Man.
oh brother.
Okay,
Well, should we
so
get into our book here?
yeah, let's do it. Okay, so do we want to do first impression? No, how about we'll do the drink, talk about the drink? Is that what we do now? The
Okay.
drink and then first
I
impressions,
think
then
we sort
author
of did.
bio?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Okay, so the drink doesn't have
Okay.
a name, but we'll come up with a name. But if you guys want to pause this and imbibe with us, it's actually a fairly simple drink, but delicious. And this is one that Spoons found for us. And it is so tasty. And I'm going to show my glass again because at least the camera picks this up.
Yes.
It doesn't like my
Look at Ash's
leggings, but
glass.
isn't it lovely and
Beautiful.
nice? Thank you. Thank
Doesn't it
you.
look refreshing?
So it has rose syrup, or in my case, a rose syrup substitute, or in Spoons' case, grenadine. Um, and it has sparkling white wine, or in Spoons' case, rose wine. Or in Hobby's case, he would call it pink wine.
It's a flexible drink, really.
It's very flexible. Also, gin, and lemon juice. And I think
And bitters.
and bitters. That's right, and bitters. And it is delicious. And I'm gonna take a sip for you all. I'm not gonna ASMR it though, because that would be really gross. I hate those sounds.
Do a little slurp, yeah.
Literally, it's very tasty. Very like, I thought, oh, I'm gonna know what this tastes like. I don't know why. I was just like, I bet I know what this tastes like. Then I tasted it and I was like, not what I expected, but it is
Hmm.
delicious.
I
I
love
think
that.
maybe I expected like the gin to be stronger, but I actually
Yeah.
measured it out like on purpose. I don't usually measure it out. I usually just eye it. So
Hmm.
also maybe because I've been drinking like gin martinis in the last year more often. So maybe I'm like,
Mm.
oh, it's such like a light, gentle note of gin instead of what is
Yeah.
essentially just gin and melted ice. Just a martini.
You're just used to drinking straight gin. You're like,
That would probably be why.
well, I had my Calamity gin out, of course, my
Of
favorite
course.
gin, which we both enjoy.
I
And
still think of you every
Logan,
time I see it.
Logan walked by and she said, "Oh, that is such a Kendall gin." And I was like,
Yes,
"Oh
it is.
my God." I felt so honored that you both thought that. I was like, wow,
Hmm.
I've really been working on my brand and it's paid off.
It
So
really has. You have a very strong brand identity. Your brand awareness is off the
my
charts.
brand awareness. I'm so marketable. Um,
Amazing.
oh my
Yeah.
God. Okay, okay, sorry, I just was cracking up. My grandmother, everyone knows, right? I'm sure I've mentioned the quotes before. I have my quotes,
Yes, your quotes.
all
It's
of
been so long. Right.
all my quotes.
Great.
My grandmother has been killing it with the quotes lately.
I need to know. Which grandma is
Um,
this?
my mother's mom,
Okay.
so Sue,
Yeah.
who is a sometimes listener. Hello, Grandma, if you're listening. This is all in good fun, and I
Hi.
love you.
Hi.
Um,
I love her so much.
she's great. We were in the car the other day, and she had her radio on, and she started turning it up, and she said, "Do you like my EDM?" Electronic dance music. It's like all she listens to in the car. I'm
What?
obsessed. Do you
What?
like my EDM? Imagine in like the softest like Northwest Texas accent you've ever heard. You
In
like my
like
EDM?
y'all I don't know if y'all can quite picture this as accurately as you need to. Like a little blonde bob haircut.
Yes. Uh-huh. Very sweet,
So
beautiful
so
girl.
sweet.
Or, woman
She's
in her
made a
70s.
quilt for my child and for both of Maddie's children.
Yes. She's very talented
Very talented, very
crafter. And she listens to EDM every day. And then the other one, my mother and my grandma are so alike in this way. This is so something. When I say this, you're going to be like, oh, that is so something your mom would do. My mom said, I think I'm going to color my hair. And my grandma said, yeah, the other day I was looking at you thinking she is so beautiful, except for the color of her hair.
Oh my gosh. Your mom and your grandma are wild.
I was absolutely dying.
Was she, here's what I never understand. Like, was she trying to be savage or was it just like, just,
It just happens for
she's,
them. They just like, they don't really realize how savage they are until afterwards. And then they laugh about it.
that's so
Like
funny.
they
I've
don't
always
mean any
wondered.
harm at all, but they're both so like they'll get there. Like they'll cut to the quick. And then it's so insane that you just have to laugh. Like they both are so good at this. Oh my god,
Oh
I
my
was
God.
dying.
That is so funny.
I was good.
Like
Oh, also
replayed
the
it in
other day
my
my
head.
mom said also the other day my mom said, I like manly men. Well, except for Legolas. I like him.
Oh, that's so
For
funny.
one
I can see her
exception.
saying that. I can so see
Oh,
her saying that. I feel like if I could like get like just listen to your mom like tell me stories after she's had like a few margaritas, I feel like it would be really entertaining for me.
oh my god. Yeah, she's really funny. It's so good. Anyway, those are, I don't know why I thought of that, but I think you laughed at what I said and then it made me think about funny things people say. And then I was like, I have to share these. So I was cracking up.
I consider this your quotes board, even though it's just a note on your phone, and I consider it like the highest on like to make the quotes
You
board.
have quite a few on there, by the way.
I know,
So
I feel very honored.
yeah.
Like every
Wait,
time it's like another star on my like general's uniform.
I have to find the one that was so good from you. Oh my God. I'm just gonna search Ash.
Like
Okay.
which one?
Yeah, hold
Search
on. You might want
Ash.
to cut this. Okay.
LOL.
This is gonna be worth it.
I'm so ready. I always love hearing how funny I am. So take
Okay, I forgot about some of these. I'm crying. Oh my God.
I'm really enjoying just watching this.
I'm sorry. I have to find. Okay, the best one. We were watching the trailer for the movie League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, and in complete silence. And right after Ash goes, prior to this moment, I never believed in thought censorship. Censorship.
That was my moment, like your mom and your grandma have. I was just being honest.
Oh my God, that was like the funniest thing I've ever heard.
If y'all haven't seen that preview, you should. If anyone judges me for saying that, you won't after you watch that preview.
No, you were so correct to say it, and it was so good. Okay, here's the one I was thinking of. He said, ugh, but without men, who would I feel superior to?
Did I? I have no memory of that. Oh, that's
Like, I don't
hilarious.
remember the context. I don't remember what was going on, but that is so funny. Also, the one right before that is Ash about the Ninja Turtles. Okay, so none of them are named Luigi.
Back to that comment I made at the beginning about like, some like, well, am I actually dumb?
Okay, so none of them are named Luigi, just to get that clear.
I have a hard time with the Ninja Turtle names. I don't know what it is.
Oh my God, that's totally fair. Oh, okay, one more. I guess we were talking about Shadow and Bone, and I said, he's writing fan fiction about him and Alina. And you said, he's writing the Darkling Starkov over and over. Mrs. Fiona
Oh my
Charming.
God.
Mrs. Fiona Charming. But the Darkling Starkov.
Oh my gosh.
That's so funny.
That
Oh,
was
here's a
a
good
good
one from
one.
Javi. You said, oh, my back hurts from shoveling these rocks. And he said, my back hurts from carrying this relationship.
That's his most iconic one. He says it all the time.
It was really funny. I have quite a few.
He's gonna love to know that he made your quote board.
One more from Ash. You said, I think this might have been on the pod. You said, he's on thin ice, but most men are drowning, so it's actually a compliment.
There's so much like anti-male aggression in
You
some
are
of my
so
jokes.
witty. That's so funny.
Thank you, Spoons.
That's
I
hilarious.
you always really give me a confidence boost.
You have the funniest quotes on there.
I need to start keeping quotes from you because you crack me up constantly. That's hilarious. Oh my
Well, dear
gosh.
readers, I'm sorry that I added 15 minutes to this by reading
Oh,
quotes
don't
from
be
that.
sorry. You guys got to enjoy some of my best witticisms of all
Yeah,
time. I think you're
whoever is
lucky.
still here, bless you, and I hope you enjoyed that.
Mom, I hope you enjoyed it, Mom.
Mom, Grandma.
Not even they've
Okay,
logged
okay.
off.
Yeah.
They're like, we've literally heard all of these before. Ash
They're
does
like,
not
yeah,
have
we
that many
know.
jokes.
They're like,
We
Kendall,
know, we
you've read the
know.
quotes 15 more other times. Like, it's fine.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, brother. Okay,
Okay.
okay. Okay, time to lock in. Time to
Yeah,
lock
yeah.
in. And now that we're
People have been saying that
36
lately. That's
minutes
right.
to the episode.
Dude, do you have any? Okay, last time I think it was last episode with Gino. I'm gonna let you guess. How long? What do you think the
Oh,
time code read when we started talking about the book?
brother. Were y'all fully 45 minutes in? How long?
Higher.
50? An hour?
Higher. We were 58
Shut.
minutes and 20 seconds in.
Oh, what were y'all talking about?
I don't even know. I don't feel like we were even talking about that much. It might have been
That's
partially because we were very unorganized and also Gino had just come off working night shifts for like 2 weeks. And
yes.
so she was a little bit like spacey, so she said. I don't know. I already forgotten completely
Well,
the book that we covered. I don't, oh, The Silent
that's
Patient.
yes, yes. I was gonna listen to that tomorrow.
But I'd
That
forgotten all of the plot to it. And I've already have again.
that's what this podcast is. If you don't like it, get out. Sorry,
Yep.
we're doing this for fun. So
Yeah, yeah. This is not academic. I think we've been incredibly clear about
not
that.
academic. Do we both have English degrees? Yes. Is this academic? No. Okay.
No. Should
Get
you
the hell
cite
out.
us in your bibliography? Absolutely
No.
yes. I mean,
Oh, I mean,
no.
yes.
Right, right, right. We want you to get good grades. No, no, don't do
Right,
that.
right,
God.
right. Oh,
Okay.
brother.
So, this episode, we are covering North and South by Elizabeth Gaskell, which is amazing and was a recommendationer from our
That was a recommendation.
listenership,
Of
Jane.
course.
Of
Yay,
course, because it's a
Gene.
classy ass book, and it came from Jane, of course, because she is incredibly classy. And it was wonderful. So thank you, Jane, for the recommendation. We did read. The second that I got your message, I was like, add to cart because I trust you. I'm like, Jane knows what's up. So we're gonna do
She
this one.
knows.
She
She
knows.
knows.
My first impressions of the book North and South were that I don't really know because I kept getting the name mixed up. I kept thinking North by South for some reason, which makes no sense
Oh.
whatsoever. But then I was like, okay, no, no, it's North and South. And I was like, is this about a civil war? Like, I don't know. So
Yeah. Well, there's, I think, a mini series or something that's about the American Civil War, which is also called North and South. So it might have
interesting.
been a
So my
preconception.
impression was incorrect, but not crazy.
No, of course not. Yes, thank you so much for the sweet letter and the recommendation. It was so kind. We love it when people send us things.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Especially money.
but
I'm
yeah,
just
I was so
kidding.
excited that somebody wanted us to read this because I have been a fan of the miniseries for several years. I'm obsessed.
Of course you
I've
have.
watched it probably, oh, I've watched it over 5 times and at least, and I love it dearly, but I've never read the book. So it was very exciting for me to read the book. So I guess my first impression, I don't know. I already had an impression from the miniseries.
Yeah.
So I don't even
That's
remember the
crazy.
first time I
I
saw the
knew
miniseries.
nothing about this and nothing about this story when I started reading it. Like literally, I was like, I don't know what time I cannot express to you how little research I did. I didn't even read the back of the book. Literally went in 100% blind, just
Oh.
flying on faith in Jane alone. And I mean, it absolutely paid off, even though I was showing spoons. The cover of mine is quite boring. I hate that it won't let me show you guys. It's just a compass. So the cover also told me absolutely nothing about what the book was. I was like, cool, more directions. Amazing. This is
Don't tell
so
me where to
helpful.
go. Don't tell me what to do.
What was it? There was something recently where I was like, oh man, it was like a game or something. And oh, what was it? It was incredibly clear how not well, how unwell I am with instructions and rules. How everything in me is like, absolutely not. Like I'm not gonna
No.
follow these rules. Yep.
You're like, don't tell me anything.
Don't tell me anything. I don't
You're
want to
so
know.
Gen X, even though you're not. You know,
Yeah, I
like,
like to
don't
keep
label
people
me.
guessing. I'm all the and I'm also kind of grumpy like a boomer. So you know what? I'm all the generations.
You're Stardust, baby.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. Well, yeah. Um, so yes, North and South by Elizabeth Gaskell. What year was this book written? I am
That's a
not.
great question. Let me see. I should
Hold
know
on.
because
Typing sounds,
I
typing
actually
sounds.
I actually did do her bio this time,
Oh,
which is like the first time in 100 million years.
I don't think
It
we've ever
was
done the bio.
right. Never once in this whole podcast have we ever done the bio.
Never once.
Um, it
1860. Oh,
sorry. It was
sorry.
published in 1855, according to gaskellsociety.co.uk.
I trust that.
I don't know. That's what I'm guessing. Do you guys would you like to hear her bio?
Yes.
I don't know
Sorry,
why
I just
we
read
would
something
just
on
want
Wikipedia that made
those.
me gag. Okay, go ahead.
No, you're totally good. Uh, time code, because I gagged into the
Okay, I'm
microphone.
so sorry. If you don't mention this, I'm going to mention it after, but I'm sure you will.
What?
The Charles Dickens connection. I
Oh
didn't know
yeah,
this.
I didn't either. Well, I didn't. I
Okay.
like I said, I knew literally nothing about this book or this author. Had never heard of either of them. I'm absolutely stunned that they exist. I'm looking up her zodiac sign real quick. What do you think her
Oh
zodiac
shoot,
sign
yeah.
is? Do you have a guess on her zodiac sign?
Um uh
I know what it is because I just looked it up.
okay. I don't know the Virgo.
No, she's a Libra.
Okay. Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Oh my goodness.
All about the scales, fair, equal.
Oh, you're right. North and South. Oh my gosh.
North
The
and
most,
South, they do so many discussions on, wages and capitalism and
yeah,
what's
the
fair and
difference
what's not.
between the country and the city, rural
Indeed.
agriculture and industrialism. Wow, you're
That's
so
our girl.
correct. I wouldn't
That's
have
our
thought of
Libra
that.
queen.
That was so galaxy brain of you. Do people still say that? I
I'm
learned it
sure
from
we
you.
do.
So cool.
Did you?
I did. If you ever hear anything that was ever once spoken by pop culture, it's because I learned it from you. Sometimes hobby, mostly from you though.
That is so galaxy brain.
So galaxy brain of you.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
So Elizabeth Cleghorn or Cleghorn, I don't know how you say it, Gaskell, was born in September 1810, in Chelsea, England, question mark. Chelsea's in England, right?
Yeah,
She was the
surely.
daughter of William Stevenson, a Treasury official and journalist, and his wife's name was also Elizabeth. So we got two Elizabeths in a row. She did the like Lorelai Gilmore thing. This is like Lorelai the second. Yeah.
Good.
Let's see. Very sad. So Elizabeth Gaskell, her mother died when she was only 13 months old, which is really
Oh,
sad. So
that
she
is
was just
sad.
a little wee toddler, and her
A
father
little
sent her
bairn.
to the countryside to live with her mother's sister, her aunt, who it sounds like she had a really close and positive relationship with. By the way, I'm getting all
No,
this information from gaskellsociety.co.uk in case anybody was interested. It is
that's as good as a
very
.org.
it really is as good as a .org. There's like pictures. This is like one of the best like author entries I have seen in a long while. So highly recommend if you guys want to learn more about her. Let's see. Her father had remarried when she was 4, to her stepmother Catherine, who was the sister of the Scottish miniature artist William John Thompson, who painted a rather famous portrait of Elizabeth in 1832, which you can see if you go to this website. So that's
Oh,
interesting. Let's see. And it was, quote, this lively and attractive young woman who married William Gaskell in 1832. And the reason that I quote that is that right to the left of that paragraph is this very old, decrepit looking man holding his hands. And I'm like, don't tell me that's Reverend William Gaskell. It is, it is. But then I looked at the
please
date.
God, no,
Please
please.
don't be him. But it's actually him in 1879. So I'm guessing when
Ugh.
they got married
Whew.
in 1832, he didn't look
He was
quite so
probably
old and
hot
decrepit.
back then.
Right? He
Yeah.
probably was hot. It was just the way that the sentence was phrased was suspicious enough that I was like looking for the picture and I was concerned.
Like, oh God, please no. Elizabeth,
Please
please,
don't
my
do that.
sister.
My sister in Christ, I beg you. Um, oh, which brings me to he was an assistant minister at Cross Street Unitarian Chapel in Manchester at
Okay,
the time.
fun.
So yeah, so she was a sister in Christ. Um, okay, so she helped with the poor. She taught Sunday school. She did a lot of charity work during that time. Where they lived was in Manchester at the time. That was one of the quickly becoming industrialized areas. So not shockingly at all, where most of the book North and South takes place is essentially like a shot for shot of the scenery, hypothetically, that she lived in for the rest of her life. She never moved back to the countryside.
Oh,
She had four or five daughters. I think she had five daughters. Her first three daughters were born in their first house. Then they moved to a larger house. She had her only son, but he died of scarlet fever when he was only 9 months old.
no, not scarlet fever.
Yep. And so or
Uh-uh.
apparently had already like had a few short stories published by that time. And she was so grief stricken that her husband, the good old Reverend William Gaskell, suggested that she write a novel to distract her from her grief, which is actually like, well, how thoughtful. Maybe he is a sweet man,
An
not a
actionable
weird,
thing. Yeah.
yeah, an actionable thing. That's much, I wouldn't have expected it from the rather crusty old Reverend in the picture. So
The picture you were shown.
I
Yeah.
was not, I really judged that book by its cover very unfairly.
Oh, maybe he's nice.
Oh, maybe he's actually a nice guy.
Oh,
Let's
that's
see.
good. Good for Elizabeth.
So, Manchester at the time was sort of considered the forefront of the new industrial age, was growing rapidly, but unfortunately, as typically happens in areas that become urban and developed really quickly, there was a lot of poverty, squalor, really unsafe, dirty working and living conditions. So that was difficult. And a lot of that was reflected in her novels, not just North and South, apparently, but in all of them.
Mm.
For example, one of her works, this is not considered one of her most famous, but it is the one that I have found referenced the most because I looked at a few bios before this. So I'm kind of like, maybe it is the most famous, or at least the most well known, because that's what everyone's talking about the most. I'm just saying, I don't know what we're judging most popular by, but it's a novel called Mary Barton, subtitled A Tale
Okay.
of Manchester Life. It was published anonymously in 1848 because, back then all the ladies were going around publishing anonymously.
You couldn't be
Um,
publishing as a woman. Are you
Absolutely
crazy?
not. And
Are you
then when
crazy?
she actually did start publishing under her name, everyone just called her Mrs. Gaskell because that's how they did it. So she was published as Mrs. Gaskell, and that's how everybody kind of referred to her. Apparently, in England, according to one of the bios that I read, they still refer to her sometimes as Mrs. Gaskell, as the
I
author
heard
instead
that.
of,
Yeah.
yeah, which is very strange. I'm like, weird. I also have never heard of Mrs. Gaskell or
Yeah.
Elizabeth.
Sorry.
All right, I haven't
It's
heard of
also
either
like,
one.
she does have like her own name, so
She
that's
does
kind
have
of
her own
interesting.
name that she's had since birth, so that's kind of just hers.
Yeah,
But whatever,
whatever. Like it's fine.
whatever.
Whatever.
It's probably fine. And so Mary Barton is the work that is credited with attracting the attention of one Charles Dickens.
Woohoo!
There it is.
Bam, ba
Uh,
bam, ba bam, ba bam, bam. That's my
that's what I
guy right
thought.
there.
That is
Bam.
Spoons' guy.
That
I would
is
like
my
to
guy.
emphasize that that is Spoons' guy,
Ash
not
does not
mine.
claim him.
Spoons' guy
I do,
only. I
baby. Get in
absolutely
line.
do
Shut.
not in line. Oh my goodness. Okay, so that was when he invited her to start publishizing.
Publishizing.
I can't say it. I'm just gonna go with publishizing her, her work in the periodicals that he edited.
I
Household
like
words.
publishizing.
published hygiene, and all the year round. So she became really popular in that. She wrote a number of short stories for Dickens, one
Like,
of which included Cranford, which I think that's the one that was that's considered to be her most well-known work of fiction. I know nothing
oh,
about this Cranford, but supposedly.
I've never
Um,
heard of Grandeur.
yeah, Cranford, I don't know. Let's see. So in 1846, they had a fourth daughter. And then in 1850, when the Julia, the fourth daughter, was 4 years old, they moved into yet another house. This one's slightly outside of the manufacturing district, so she got like a view of open fields, which is kind of nice. You know, after like her whole life and everything, it's kind of nice to know, oh, she got to like kind of go somewhat countryside adjacent. That's
That
nice.
is nice. I'm
Um,
glad.
but also, if you haven't seen this house, and why would you have? It is worth looking at a picture of it. Wowza. This house looks like stately AF. I mean, it's
Okay,
crazy.
Queen.
So, like, she was so thrilled with her new home, but also alarmed at its size and cost. I'm going to read an excerpt from the letter that she wrote to her friend about the house because
Okay.
also it feels like so. This is what I'm saying. This is like an example of also how this book sounds so relatable. Oh my God, humans have just always been humans.
Oh, so
Um,
true, Bessie.
so about her new house, she says, "And we've got a house. Yes, we really have. And if I had neither conscience nor prudence, I should be delighted, for it certainly is a beauty. I must try and make the house give as much pleasure to others as I can, and make it as little a selfish thing as I can. My dear, it's 150 a year, and I dare say we shall be ruined. And I've already asked after the ventilation." Just like
And I've already asked. We shall be
anyway,
ruined.
we shall be ruined. It was so expensive. She's like, I would be delighted
No.
if I had no conscience or prudence, which is like so funny. So that
Oh,
it kind of cracked me up. But apparently she really did. They entertained a lot. They always had people there. Their house was considered like very bustling. And she kept a vegetable garden, a cow, pigs, poultry. She was trying to like bring a little bit of that like rural life into this sort of city adjacent area.
oh,
Super,
bless her
super busy
heart.
social life between her minister husband, the congregation, some of whom it seems had some feelings about her being a novelist. Not only a novelist, but like if you think about the things that she wrote, especially there is a one of her novels, Ruth, um, which essentially depicts a woman's journey into prostitution, but from the sympathetic perspective of that woman, so that, you know, you see her as an actual human being and not just as some
Right.
illegitimate figure of sin, which how dare. So the Unitarian
How
congregation was
dare she
like,
do that? Oh my
wow,
God. Okay, Queen Elizabeth. She's
I
kind of like
know.
doing stuff.
She is doing stuff. And once again, I'm
I
like,
love that.
Reverend, I'm not even seeing anything here about how you were so horrible to her. Oh,
I
I'm so
think we
proud
might
of
have to stand
you.
Reverend.
I think I do actually.
We love
And
Reverend.
your precious Charles Dickens had some rude things to say about her. Like,
The thing about Jake, like, listen. As much as I love him, he was kind of a dick. Okay, I understand. I get it. I do. I do. I really do.
well, that's a relief, so it won't be shocking to you. I won't be breaking your heart. You already know. Well, she
I
did
already know he's a
travel a
dick.
lot. So she traveled around different places in Europe. She ventured abroad many years, traveling to France, Germany, Switzerland, Italy, usually accompanied by at least one of her daughters. Um,
Cool.
and this is very strange to me, rather than her husband, as William preferred to holiday alone. And I'm just like, is William okay? I don't
Holiday
know.
alone.
Who wants to holiday alone? I'm also like,
I
well, I don't know. Maybe because they always had friends over. He was like, I just need a moment of peace. I just want to read my
He was like,
books.
Elizabeth is so cool and she always has people over and the congregants are always at my door. Like, I need to go to France by myself. Dear God.
Please just let me breathe. I don't know. I want to be on his side, so maybe it's normal. Maybe there's nothing suspicious there. Also, though, it kind of makes me think of the main character in North and South, her father, who is kind of like that, who's like, just shut me away with my books, please. And also is a minister.
That's true.
So
That's true.
I
That's
don't
very
know.
true.
Maybe there's some
I'm
stuff
not
there.
I'm not saying anything.
I know. I'm not saying one way or another, but it's possible. Also, she was friends with Florence Nightingale. What?
Okay, what?
Yep. And Charlotte
Elizabeth is
Bronte.
cool.
So
Elizabeth
much
is
so.
cool.
She is like
Okay.
the coolest. She was such close friends with Charlotte Bronte that when Charlotte died, her father asked Elizabeth to write the first biography of Charlotte, and she did. Isn't that crazy? I had no
I have
idea.
to read that.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Let's see. So, although they shared many artistic concerns, and Charles loved Elizabeth's work, Elizabeth and him often had a difficult working relationship. Who, and I'm going to quote now, as editor, often wanted to alter what she wrote. On one occasion, exasperated by her perceived waywardness as a contributor, he exclaimed to his sub-editor, "Oh, Mrs. Gaskell, fearful, fearful! If I were Mr. G, oh heavens, how I would beat her!" So it's easy to see why they didn't always get on. End quote.
That was worse than I thought it was gonna
I actually felt kind of bad reading it too. I was like, oh, that's worse probably than she's expecting.
be. I don't believe it. He didn't say that.
He would never. I have to think that it's something like, like the way Javi would make a joke that's like super off color, but also
Okay,
completely
yeah, I
harmless.
don't think he would actually beat a woman.
I
Charles
don't
would.
know. Cheat
I
on
think
them?
he,
Sure.
okay, yeah, keep them from their children after your divorce. Yes, he
Yes,
did do
yes.
that.
But there's
But
got to be a line
there's
somewhere.
a line. There's got to be a line.
We trust that Charles knows there's a line.
Didn't beat his wife. Come on.
Come
Come
on.
on.
It's
Okay,
cracking
okay.
me up.
Anyway, David
Okay.
Copperfield's still a good book, and even
It's
if he's dead. Anyway,
he still contributed very meaningfully to the dialogue of the times.
he still cared about societal issues at the time.
Did.
Anyway,
And
okay.
his concerns crossed over a ton with Elizabeth, and they had very similar approaches. Although I would like to say Elizabeth is not nearly as long-winded as him, gets to the point much better, and is much more relatable. But I'm not biased at all. Let's see. She has some other
Listen,
full-length novels.
I'm not bothered by that. That's fine. I don't care.
So, Cranford, which it sounds like started as a short story, did end up as a full-length novel in
Cranford is not a good
1852.
book name. I'm sorry.
Cranford, right? That was my first thought when I read the thing that said it was the most popular. I was like, that title sucks.
That's my first impression. It's a bad
Same,
title.
same. Sorry,
It's like
Elizabeth.
if Stephanie Meyer had kept Forks as the title for Twilight.
Was
That's
it? Was that the
exactly what that
title?
is.
Was that ever the
Yes,
title?
that was her querying title. Forks, Ash, Forks.
Oh God, some people are not gifted with the title. I mean, I'm not either, so absolutely zero judgment. I
That
mean,
is a bad title.
is it better or worse than Pregnant with Alien Baby?
Absolutely, it's worse than that. Pregnant with
Okay,
Alien Baby is
sweet.
the best title I've ever heard.
Right? It's really good.
Yeah,
It gives you
it's.
just enough details about what might happen, but it leaves you wanting more.
I dare you to read the title "Pregnant with Alien Baby" and not wonder what happens next. I dare you. You know,
Yep. Yep. Somebody should have told Elizabeth Gaskell about that.
Elizabeth, get on "Pregnant with Alien Baby."
Maybe. Come on. You could have made it great. Okay. Because I'll just have to write it. It's not going to be
uh,
good though.
that's fine.
Okay. So Elizabeth Gaskell died suddenly on the 12th of November in
No.
1865 at The Lawn, which is a house in Hollyburn in Hampshire that she was secretly buying as a post-retirement surprise for her husband and family. Which I'm like,
Okay.
okay, so she died in a house that she was secretly buying. So I'm like, were you like on a walkthrough of the house? Like what happened there? I'm confused. She was secretly buying
Yeah.
this place, but
Okay.
hadn't, I don't believe had bought it yet. There's no indication that she had bought it yet. I'm very, very confused by it. I don't
Well,
know.
it seems like she and the Reverend might have spent a lot of time apart doing their own thing.
Yes, that's true.
She
Perhaps
was
she was
like,
like letting the place for herself for a little while
she,
before she was buying it.
or maybe she was being sweet and buying it for him. Who knows?
Yeah, well, that's what it says. She was secretly buying it as a post-retirement surprise for her
Oh,
husband
yes. Okay.
and
Yeah. I
family.
missed that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I
That's
mean,
sweet.
supposedly she was, but I'm confused by it. I'm like, what happened?
They seem
And
to have an
died
interesting
suddenly?
relationship.
Like, I died suddenly is never enough information for me.
No.
I'm
And
like,
like,
how?
how old is she again? Does it say?
Ah, see, that was 1865. Let's see, she was born in 1810,
Oh,
so
that's not old
55.
enough to die suddenly.
No, it's not. I don't know. I have suspicions, and I have no one
I
to
have
suspect
questions.
of, but I'm still suspicious.
Oh
So
my God, it was Charles. Oh
that was my first thought. Was the only person that I can think of who doesn't like her in this is occasionally Charles. Oh my God, it was Charles.
my God.
Oh gosh. Let's see. So She was buried at Brook Street Chapel in Knutsford, Cheshire, where you can visit her grave. And then her work, Wives and Daughters, was in the process of being published in the Cornhill magazine. It was considered a high quality literary periodical specializing in the serialization of novels. That's about the magazine. And it did appear posthumously in volume form in 1866, but it wasn't finished yet. And some people think it was going to be her greatest work. And just by the title,
Oh,
Wives and Daughters, and like the just level of like insight that North and South had, I'm like, I want to know what that book was going to be.
I
That kills
know. I
me.
wish
I
she
bet
had
it
been
would
able to
have
finish
been.
it.
I feel like that,
Oh,
who knows? Maybe that would have really put her on the level of recognition with Charlotte Bronte and Jane Austen. I don't know. That's
yeah,
just
I
my
would have
sense
loved
about it.
that.
But yep. Anyway, so that is Elizabeth Gaskell. A nice long
That was an
bio.
excellent, excellent.
I mean, it's all really thanks to
Sorry for the microphone noise.
gaskellsociety.co.uk.
Thank
So
you, Gaskell Society. We are
dot
one of
co
you.
dot uk. Yeah.
.co.uk. We love you.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
gonna
you're
get that on a
amazing.
t-shirt.
Exactly.
Gaskell Society.
.co.uk. And then one day you're like traveling in London and you're wearing it, and someone's like, wait a minute. Wait, I own that. I own that website.
They're like, oh my God, that's me.
Why is it that like in my delusional head, I'm like, someday that's gonna happen with a TPBC shirt. I'm gonna be like, my
Ah,
delusional ass. All of three people have ever bought a t-shirt.
that I think, keep on dreaming. That's a good
I
goal.
am.
I love that.
My delusions absolutely refuse to be curbed. It really doesn't matter how many times I fail or like how many times
Good.
I go, I'm gonna start a new business and then it fails. I'm like, I'll still succeed. Like I have no reason to believe.
Listen, the lovers, the dreamers, and me, we've got to
That's
keep
right.
going.
Yeah, and we will. And so I'm just like,
Cheers
like
to
if you
that,
throw
brother.
cheers to my sister in Christ.
My sister in Christ. You, me, and Elizabeth.
Yeah, for real. Raise one up to Elizabeth. Um,
Yeah, pour one out for our girl.
yeah, for real.
Wives and
I
Daughters would have been a hit. I know it.
It really, really would have been. Okay. I'm so convinced. Okay, cool. So now I've done a ton of talking, which has been
That
good.
was really good.
I'm sure Javi's hating it in the background right now, but he's gonna love the after effect, which is that I'll have gotten all of my words out for the day and I don't have to talk to him.
You're like, let's just chill. Yeah.
I'm just kidding. He loves me, but he probably will be
Of
like,
course.
okay, so are you done talking? Because all I've heard is your voice in the background for like 2 hours. I can see how that would perhaps get somewhat annoying.
No, don't even concede that much.
You know what? You're right. My sweet dulcet tones are a gift
It's
at all
also your
times and
beautiful
volumes.
voice, of
Thank you.
course. All right.
Thank you.
So should we get into it? Okay, I won't go too deep into like all the details because as Victorian novels go, sometimes it's like there's a lot of details we don't really need
Yeah.
for like the
Can I
reception
ask,
of the
how long did
idea.
this take for you to read it?
Okay, well, for me, I guess I will say that me and Emily actually listened to it while we were in New Zealand. That's right,
Ooh.
everyone. I went to New Zealand. So
You didn't
then
tell us about New Zealand. Oh my God, we're gonna have to
I
have New
for
Zealand corner after this.
okay. Well, I went to New Zealand, and one of the things that I did in New Zealand was while we were driving around the country, me and my friend Emily listened to this book the whole time. So we listened to all like 22 hours of it
I
or
just say
something.
I listened to it at 1.4 speed and it was
Mhm.
18 hours and 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's long.
My other
So
active audiobook is the Bible, which is a lot closer to the time frame for this book than I would have liked it to be. Like when I'm looking at the time it takes to listen all the way through the two, I was like 20 hours, 90 hours. There should be a much bigger gap between the two.
you're like, this feels crazy. You know what? North and South is my Bible, baby.
Honestly, fair.
Joking. But I do like it. But yeah, so we listened to North and South while we were driving around the North and mostly the South Island of New Zealand.
Mm.
And it was very beautiful. There was lots of gorgeous scenery. We hiked right by Mount Doom, the place where
Oh,
they filmed Mount Doom.
yes. Heck
and
yes.
etc., etc. We it was very fun. But
Did you
anyway,
go in the
yeah,
water anywhere?
we did go in the water. Um, where did we go in the water? I stepped foot in the Tasmanian Sea, the Tasman Sea. Sorry, I couldn't remember what it's called. But it kind of like soaked my hiking boots by accident and
Oh,
it ruined that for a couple of days. So that was funny.
oh my
But yeah.
goodness.
But we did get right back in the car and start listening to North and South again. So we listened to North and South a lot. So it was really fun. Emily had already listened to it or read it before, but I had not, but I had seen the miniseries many times. So it was really fun.
I feel like I need to watch the
Um,
miniseries.
you do. I was just thinking I need to come over and or you should come over to Girl World or either way
Oh
and
my
we can watch
gosh.
it.
I would so love to. I'm literally writing it
It's
down.
so fun. It's like
Appear
really,
on
really good.
Spoons' doorstep. Just kidding. I
There
wrote
are
North and
like,
South miniseries.
I love that. There's like parts of the book that I'm interested to hear your perspective because coming from the miniseries, which I've seen many times and know by heart, I'm like, it was so crazy to read the book, but you haven't seen the miniseries, so you've only read the book. So I'm like, oh, I wonder like what your opinion is of this and this. Because the certain things are different, but generally it's pretty faithful. So that was fun. So anyway, North and South is about a 18-year-old girl. She's so baby.
She's
Named
a wee
Margaret
little
Hale.
thing. Mm-hmm.
She is tiny, and her name is Margaret, and her dad is a
Minister.
reverend
Reverend.
minister.
Yeah.
And she has lived for a while in London with her cousin and just kind of chilling. But her like home and where her parents live is a place called Helstone in the south of England. And it's like this gorgeous Eden that she's always talking about. And it's like beautiful. And like
Yeah.
she will literally not shut up about her
For
hometown of Helstone.
real. For real. She's
She
like,
will
it's the most
not be
beautiful,
quiet.
perfect place in the whole world. And I'm like, this feels strange. I feel like most people are like, gotta get out of my hometown. And she's like, not
Yes.
mine. It's heaven on earth.
She's like, it's actually the best thing that God ever did. So
And also your town in comparison, it sucks.
it
Yours
sucks.
is garbage. It's poopy garbage compared to my home of Helston, in case you were
Literally.
wondering.
That's exactly like we're not even exaggerating.
Honestly, really not.
So
She says it in more words, but there is no exaggeration in sentiment.
she feels exactly about that. So her cousin is marrying this guy and she and Margaret is kind of moving back home. And so her cousin marries the guy, but then the guy's cousin, or sorry, the guy's brother has a thing for Margaret, and his name is Henry Lennox. And
Hmm.
so Henry follows her to Helston and like proposes to her.
Did you
And
feel
she's like,
bad for
ooh,
him?
I
Because I
did a
felt
little
bad. I
bit.
felt like he's not a jerk or anything,
No,
right?
he's not terrible. He's
He's not
just like,
terrible.
I think not reading the room.
No, no,
Like in
no.
the one interaction we had before with them, I was like, so Girlie's not into you. But
Mm-mm,
like he
mm-mm.
was clearly not seeing
He
that.
was not. Well, I think he was like, I came here with a mission. And he was like, and
Yeah.
he's not even awkward too, which is difficult. I think he was just nervous. Like he is a well-spoken, wealthy lawyer, like quite like witty and funny and sarcastic, but honestly, like they just don't connect at all, those two.
They don't know. And like I guess the idea was that they would hang out some like in group settings and stuff. But I'm like, that's not the
Hmm.
same as like marrying her forever. You know, I'm
Mm-mm.
like, Henry, look further. She is not that into you. You
There
could
is
do
always
better
one
for
boy in the friend
yourself.
group who needs that message. Always one
Yes.
boy.
And you're like, come on, buddy. Like, come on. So Henry proposes to her and she's like, ooh, it's gonna be a no. And while soon after that, her father is like, so I am leaving the church because I have a disagreement with I don't even remember what the disagreement is, but
It was
basically he
so
has some
vague. I never understood it. He was like,
yeah,
I'm having a crisis of faith. And she's like, you mean you don't believe in her? He's like, no, God, no, of course I believe. And I was like, well, then what is the problem, buddy?
he
Like,
he has like a theological
crisis,
difference with
midlife
like
crisis.
yeah, with like what the church that he's under is doing. And so he's
Hmm.
like, we have to move. We have to move all the way across the country
But he
to a
doesn't tell the mom. The mom,
no.
okay, so her mom married her dad for love, which is supposedly a stark difference than her cousin's mom, who married her husband for money. And so, you know, so there's always been like digs sort of between the two about like marrying for love versus marrying for money.
Yeah.
But there's been some hardships for Margaret and her mom and family because ministers don't make that much money. And so it has been like a little bit of a burden, although she seems like mostly content, just kind of irritated, the mom does, about like their general circumstances. And
Yeah.
then the dad is like, so here's the thing, Margaret. I cannot bring it in myself to tell your mom she's gonna be really sad. So I'm gonna head out and go on a little walksy walk. Maybe you can tell your mom for me. And I'm like, I'm gonna slap the living crap out of you, sir.
Poor Margaret is always in the middle of them. And here's the thing, I kind of hate both of her parents
They both
so
suck.
much.
They
I
both
mostly
suck
hate
so
her mother,
bad.
but I do hate her dad as well. I think
Yep.
I hate her mom a lot because in the miniseries, she's so horrible.
Is she?
She's
Uh,
the worst. And I do
I wouldn't
feel,
put them as like in the book. I felt like the mom and the dad equaled each other out in horrible in completely different ways.
yeah,
But
they're
neither
not
one.
great. And
Uh-uh.
I'm like, Margaret is 18 and she just got back home and is just like
Yeah,
chilling. And y'all can't even be okay for like 2 days because y'all have
literally.
marital problems. So you have to put Margaret in the middle of it. It's so
So
frustrating.
badly in the middle of it. And then when her mom breaks down when she tells her, she's like sobbing on Margaret's shoulder. And I'm like,
So bad.
whoa. Okay, not that there is not a time and a place for an adult daughter to comfort her adult mother, but Margaret is not
Fine.
really an adult at this time. And
She's
that is not the
tiny.
time for this. She's still a kid. She has no independence. This is not, but she does this periodically with both parents, where she's like the comforter, the nurturer, the advisor. And I'm
Yes.
like, girl.
Poor Margaret. She had to grow up really fast, I think, once she got like back home because I think she was kind of living okay in London with her cousin and stuff.
Hmm.
And then
Yeah.
when she got back home, it was suddenly like, boom, you're in charge basically because your parents were
Yeah.
babies, you know?
Because they're totally
So
incompetent little teenagers.
it sucks. It sucks so
Yeah.
bad. So they have to move from Margaret's like lovely, beautiful home in Helston to the
That's the
north.
best city ever that's ever existed. In case you forgot what
The
it was, it's the best,
yeah, yeah,
the most beautiful, and has no flaws at all.
yeah.
In case
Right.
you
So if
forgot,
you're keeping track, yeah, the best place that you could
the
ever go
best
to in
place,
the world.
Helston,
Yeah.
and then yucky
And
poo poo
then
diapers garbage. That's where she's moving to.
yeah, worst place in the whole entire world,
The whole world
Milton.
might as well be hell.
So
Might as well be
Milton sucks.
actual hell.
Milton. And the funny, I know, I'm so sorry if you have any UK listeners. Like, I do deeply love you, and I thank you so much for listening. But it is so funny that they are acting like this is the other end of the world. I'm like,
I
honey,
kept
this is
thinking about that
50
too.
miles away. Like,
In my head, because of the way that they describe the distance, I'm picturing like the south of Texas to like the top of Montana
I
is how
know.
I'm picturing it. And I'm like,
No,
God, it's like a few hours drive, less.
it is quite literally like a few hours. Yeah, drive. You could drive there in one day. He's like, oh, this horrible place, Milton.
Insane. She was like, everything is different here. And I'm like, there's just no way that topographically speaking, it's that different. I
It
know
can't
your
be true.
surroundings are. It just simply can't be true. I'm so
It can't be
confused.
true. And like, but the crazy thing is, like, every okay, the another thing about okay, UK listeners, like, I mean this with respect. I think it's interesting, but like, y'all have crazy accents over there. The
Oh yeah.
accent like difference between very close regions is crazy. I'm like, what are you doing?
Dude, when
Your
I went to
country's not that
Ireland,
big.
it was insane. Like from the taxi cab to the hotel to the like the pub. I was like, you all sound completely different. You are
Yeah,
from
it's
a
really
country
crazy.
that is 1/8 the size of my state. I am so confused how your accents can be so different that I bless our sweet taxi driver. I was like, I cannot understand a word he's saying.
Oh,
Like,
no, there's no way. I'm so sorry to everyone I met in Scotland. Like, I'm so sorry.
like I really want to understand you.
I asked so many times for you to repeat yourself, and I know that I was the annoying tourist, but I really couldn't understand you. I'm so sorry. So yeah, poor Margaret is the tourist in Milton. And so they
Yeah,
get to Milton, and Milton is like a northern manufacturing town, and it's dirty. And you know what? I do believe that it's dirty. I
I do
do
too.
believe that it was probably very hard to breathe there
Yeah,
because this is like, Victorian England.
there are no labor
And
laws.
there's
There's
no
no OSHA.
there's absolutely no OSHA, no labor laws. Like nothing has happened yet to change anything. We still have like workhouses and stuff. Like we're
Yes.
not doing
There are
anything
still
else.
children working the pedals on dangerous machines.
Yes.
Like, there, it's
This is
bad.
it's not
There's no
good. It's not.
environmental regulation.
No, 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 no. We're dumping that all in the river.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, straight in the
It's all
river.
going in the river.
Whatever doesn't puff up straight
Um,
into the air that we breathe is going straight into the water that we drink.
so I do sympathize with Margaret on that respect. But yeah, they really act like this is hell. This is the worst place they've ever been,
Her
and
mom
they're going
especially
to
is like,
die.
this is going to be the end of me. And I was like, all right, you need to like calm down, like pull it together for your daughter, ma'am. And then like a few
Good
chapters
Lord.
later, I was like, well, now I'm angry because spoiler, she
I
does end up
know.
getting like terminally ill. And I'm like, well, damn it. Like,
Don't get attached to anyone in this book. They will
no.
all die.
Yep.
Everyone dies.
Yep.
It's so crazy. It's like
Like that
hilarious, honestly.
that part felt like kind of Dickensian, I will say.
It really did. Dickens was like, more people should be dying,
This is
I
just
think
like, guess I will. Otherwise, you'll tell my husband he should beat me. So
so mad that that quote exists. I don't
I
believe he
know.
would ever
Isn't it
kill.
like
Oh,
it's okay. I've seen a couple quotes from Mark Twain that I've been like, oh, you would never, oh, Mark, you would never, ever, ever say
like
that. I
I'm gonna
know.
ignore that one. I'm ignoring that one.
I'm gonna ignore that one completely. I also love that the pillow you used to cover your face is a heart shape. Something about it just felt like really,
I
just
have two
really
pillows
accurate.
here. Here, I have heart and I have howdy. I'm doing
Oh my
howdy.
God. Well, that is so Spoon's core. That is so Dr. Spoon's Palermo
I'm in
core.
girl world right now. It's very Spoon's core right here.
I am so
But
jealous of Girl World, man.
come
That
over to
sounds
girl world again.
fantastic. I would love
And
to.
we okay, come over anytime and we'll watch North and South. I'm so
Okay,
serious. Okay.
not me writing it down again that we're gonna watch it at your
Oh,
house.
also, I'm house sitting at my aunt and uncle's house in 2 weeks, and you could come over there. It's closer, maybe, and we can watch it
Ooh.
North and South. It'd be fun.
Okay, you
Okay,
text me the
that's not an
dates. And
open
now
invite. Nobody else
all
is
of you
coming to my
guys,
aunt and uncle's.
yeah, this is not information for you guys. You're just privy to it because I guess you're here. Really, this is just a conversation we're tonight having that we're
No,
recording.
y'all like how you're always just privy to me and Weezy's conversations. Like that's kind of what this is.
It will never cease to like blow my mind when I run into someone who listens to the pod and they're like, "Oh yeah, this thing about your personal life." And I'm like, "Oh my God, how do you know that?"
Oh my God, seriously. I like forget that I tell people things on here.
Yeah,
And
for
I'm like, wait,
real.
how did you know that? They're like,
I'm like,
oh, I
"Oh,
listened to it on the
it's
thing you released
publicly
to the entire world.
available." Yeah,
Yeah.
to the entire world. Whole globe
Oh,
has
right.
that
Yeah.
information.
Yeah. We have like listeners in like
Alright.
India and stuff. And I'm like, how do
Yeah.
you know that?
How do you know my child's middle name? I only say it
Hold
every
on.
third episode.
Yeah. Dragon Slayer.
There.
Okay.
I'm only paying for ads to make more people see it. I don't understand how people know anything about me.
This is ridiculous. Oh, brother.
Gosh.
So, what was I talking about? Okay. Yeah. North and South. so, so
I'm gonna
anyway,
spit my
anyway,
drink
her
everywhere.
father has been doing like basically teaching like literature lessons with people, and one of his students is a Mr. John Thornton.
Thornton.
Oh, who
Do you
is
love
this
him?
Mr.
Do you
Thornton?
love him? Are you in love
Of
with
course,
him?
I love him.
Why do you love him?
Because he's hot and he yearns for her. He is
He's
such a
so
yearner.
good at yearning. Oh my goodness. He's like
Mr.
on Darcy
Thornton,
level of yearning, maybe
he
even
really is.
more.
Yeah, he possibly is more of a yearner than Darcy.
Yeah.
Thornton is like one of our top yearners
He's an
of
AP yearning. Like,
he
absolutely.
he got a 5 on the AP yearning exam. Okay.
Yeah, he
And
absolutely did. And boy, oh boy, is he reliable? Is it the stability? All the stability you could want in
oh,
Thornton? Oh my God.
well, until he
Dreamboat.
loses the company. But yeah, I mean,
Mostly dreamboat until the market takes effect. That's
until the
unfortunate.
market.
And that's the danger of
But
dating an
you know,
entrepreneur.
the funny thing about Thornton is okay, so basically, here's a quick run on Thornton. Thornton owns Marlboro Mills, which is a cotton refinery basically in
Not a
Milton.
cigarette
And there are like
manufacturer.
quite a few. Yes.
Yeah.
And so there are like quite a few of these. And so he's like in charge. And yes, he is like this capitalist guy, whatever. But he is so.
He's a
The thing
capitalist
about him is
king.
he's a capitalist king in that he cares for his employees when
Yes.
all these other bitches
No,
don't
he's
give.
like doing it right. He's
Yes,
definitely doing it right. He's doing
he,
his best.
he's doing his best. And it's the mid 1800s, and he actually cares whether his employees live or die. So I think that's a win,
That's like
personally.
the beyond the highest bar. I mean,
He is a king.
clearly.
And he cared. He's literally just like reading the Odyssey with Margaret's dad and like being like, I just want to talk about themes, you know?
Yep, for real.
And he
Because
sees
he wants
Margaret
to
for
like
1 second.
better himself, like be
Yes.
like beyond like the lowly manufacturers because he knows how people from other parts of the country see him. And that's why
Yes.
her father was able to get this job. And the mom was like, who would, they're all lowly workers. Who among them would even need tutoring, basically? And he's like, this
Yes.
man who wants to better himself.
And yes, the people from the South are very prejudiced against these people.
Oh
And
my
I'm like,
goodness.
what is this? This is a very interesting dynamic. They're very like, oh, those dirty, like uneducated, like
They
manufacturing
really could
people.
have a civil war, and they are about like a good 2 hours drive apart, maybe.
Yes. And I'm like, can y'all chill for like 2 seconds?
Y'all need to all
I
relax.
y'all need to relax, okay? Yeah, and poor John, like, has had
Gosh.
the worst life ever. I'm just gonna skip ahead and say his whole
Go
backstory.
for it.
So basically, he like his father like killed himself,
Hmm.
and it was like a very bad thing. And so he like became he has a younger sister named Fanny, which is
Hmm.
so funny. I'm so sorry to Fanny. Um, Fanny and his mother, and his mom is weirdly obsessed with him. So sorry
Oh,
to
she is
John.
such a boy mom. Oh, I say this as a
Yes,
boy mom. She is like all the worst stereotypes of a boy mom. She is. I
she's
was like,
horrible. I love her.
oh my God, she's horrible. I'm glad you love her. I was like taking notes on what not to do. Oh my God. She's so
Yes, yes. Don't do anything she does. That's she tells you
no.
not what not to do.
Gosh.
I mean, I love her in like the way that I love watching reality TV, where I'm like, this is horrible. Like, oh, let's keep it
Yes,
going.
she
Like, this is
is.
great for TV.
I'm like,
Um,
you are why people don't like boy moms. Like,
yes,
you are the stereotype.
it's you. So she's horrible. But anyway, so John like had to kind of like sorry, Juicy wants in.
Jucifer, my darling, our producer. How does she feel about our ratings?
Our producer has notes.
Oh
That
no.
oh shoot. She says we have to stop right now.
Right
She
now,
says nobody
Jucifer.
cares and we're being crazy.
She's
Oh
like, if you
God.
guys don't stop being wayward, I'm gonna tell someone to beat you.
Oh
Jucifer's
boy.
like, actually, I'll do it myself.
I hate that this has entered our lexicon. Okay. I'm gonna
You're
cry.
welcome.
So basically, poor John has had it rough. And now he owns Marlboro Mills,
Hmm.
but he's kind of like the coolest of the mill owners.
Oh
But
yeah.
whatever. It's not important, but he is.
Like it's not
Um,
important, but he is super hot, and it's super hot that he's like the
but
coolest of the mill owners. But yes,
he
not
is
important.
hot. Yeah. And so Margaret meets him because, her dad is giving him lessons. And what I think is so, 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 so funny is that Margaret's description of him is like, He is tall, broad, dark, and handsome. But whatever, I don't even care. And I'm like, girl.
I know it was very strange. I didn't like her descriptions and recollections of him are totally at odds with like the way that like her impressions of him that she expresses. Very, very strange. Versus him,
These are
he's just
like,
like A+ yearning from the start. He's like
oh,
the way that the bracelet slid down her wrist when she
oh
poured
my,
the tea and then not. And I'm like, oh my God, tell me
stop,
more
Ash.
about this.
The
Like,
bracelets actually made me like scream out loud. I could not believe he
was
was
the
doing
bracelets
that.
not insane? Oh my God. I was like, oh my God.
Bracelets was
I was
crazy.
like,
He
you're
is
the most
so
in love that
crazy.
anyone has ever been in love. Oh my God.
John Thornton is a true yearner. Oh
That
my
was the
God.
moment that made me think, how is this not as well known as Pride and Prejudice? And also, by the way, so much of this is so Pride and Prejudice. Like, this is
Oh, it
so,
so is.
he has too much pride, he has too much prejudice. Like, this is
Yes.
so same.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're so right. Oh, I'm so glad you love the bracelets as much as I did. I was losing it at the
I was like, I'm
bracelets.
gonna say this and I hope she knows what I'm talking about. But of course, the bracelets. I feel it's the same as the hand flex in Pride and
Oh,
Prejudice. It's the
God.
bracelets.
It's That's so exactly true. And you know what? The bracelets does not appear in the mini series, and I hate that. From my
They missed
recollection,
like
I
the
don't. Oh my
most
God.
impactful
Basically,
moment.
if we're being too obscure, basically
Probably.
at one point in the book, Thornton is like watching so intently like the way her bracelet falls against her wrist
It's like the
while
first
she
time
like
they
pours
meet.
tea.
He
Like
shows up to
it's
meet the
so
dad. The dad's not
crazy.
there. So Margaret's trying to be a good hostess, even though she doesn't really want to talk to him. And so she's pouring him tea. And he's like, the way that the bracelet falls down her dainty wrist, then falls back again, or whatever. And you're like, well, he's in love. He's in love with her forever now.
It's like
So
ridiculous. It's
it's
so
insane.
crazy.
It's insane.
Yeah, so Thornton is like pretty much immediately obsessed with her. But the thing is, Margaret like kind of is like, I got a lot going on, like I am
I mean, she
busy.
does have a lot going on.
And like Thornton had been the one to, I think, recommend like a house for them to live in because anyway, do they have the same acquaintance in Mr. Bell? I'm not sure anymore. It's been like a month since I
I
read it.
think
But
they do.
yeah,
I
so
think
Mr.
they
Bell is
do.
this other character who both knows her dad and also Mr. Thornton, and he's like from Milton, and he's like this rich guy, and he's kind of like a cool rich guy that they know. But anyway, Mr. Thornton was like suddenly like, oh my God, I can't believe I even thought they could live in this house. Like Margaret deserves a palace. Like he was so immediately obsessed
Oh
with
my God.
her.
They had like he overheard her making a comment about how horribly garish the wallpaper was. And then when they
Yeah.
show up to the house, wallpaper is magically fixed.
Yes.
Why? Because he
Oh!
said something about it.
Yes, he's always
Crazy.
doing like Darcy things of like fixing things for her behind the scenes without any expectation of like being
That's
recognized
so
for
sweet.
it. It's
I really think that's what people have
ridiculous.
lost in general, but especially men. And this is not me like hating on men like in all my funny jokes you have in your quote board.
Yeah, those are just
Like,
jokes. We all know
those
those
are
are
just
jokes.
jokes. But this is something I do think some women do it, but men especially now, like wanting credit for like things that are just completely normal. Like
Hmm.
that's like that alone is like, wow, why does that have to be a thing? Like I want credit for like doing the dishes, And you're like, okay, well, I've done the dishes like 20 times this month. So like I'm not expecting credit because it's not a thing that you should get credit for. It's just part of like contributing, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But like this is beyond the pale and they don't want credit. What?
Yes. It's so
The yearning.
kind.
It's
It's
so
so
incredibly sweet.
it's just very sweet. Like he fully is like he deserves better than this and just decides to do it and doesn't at any point expect that she will know it was even him who did it. Like it's
Yeah,
so kind. And it's just because he wants her to be happy. Oh God. John
I
Thornton, I love
know.
you. Okay.
He
So
wants her to be happy with nothing in return,
nothing.
without
Yeah,
her
which is
even knowing that it's him facilitating her happiness. What?
it's
Unbelievable.
ridiculous. Which becomes sort of a
AP
theme for him
yearning. He
later.
could have a
Um,
PhD in yearning.
oh my God. Yeah, he wrote the book. So anyway, they kind of are hanging out, but then Margaret and Thornton very quickly kind of get into a few little like tiffs, sort of, because they're both very opinionated people. And Margaret becomes friends with Higgins, who is this guy who works at a different mill, and
I
his
did not
daughter
expect this
Bessie.
friendship. This is not a
It
friendship you would expect.
it is a crazy friendship.
So unlikely.
It's so great. So Higgins is like this like this blue collar, like working class guy who is like, almost her dad's age, I guess. And she is like this, by all accounts, lady from the South, and they just become friends. And so Higgins has a daughter named Bessie who is about Margaret's age, and they kind of hang out. But Bessie is like terminally ill
Yeah.
because she got the fluff in her lungs from the cotton mill that she was working at because it's
It's
like
so
horrible working conditions.
sad. And the way she
Yeah.
explains it, she's like, I have the fluff in my lungs. And she's
Yeah.
like, the fluff? What is the fluff? Like from the cotton mills. And I was like, for real?
It's like bad, you guys. It is so bad to be a factory worker in the mid 1800s.
It's so bad. There's nothing
So
worse.
bad. But
Oh my
one good thing is,
gosh.
of course, Thornton does pay for this special fan that like keeps the fluff out of the workers' lungs.
Of
So we don't
course
have to
he
worry about
does.
Thornton.
Because he cares if his workers
He
live or
cares.
die.
But the thing is, Thornton kind of like always spins it as if he doesn't care. He's like, well, of course, if they die, then I won't have anyone to work my mill. And I'm like, you can just say that you have empathy. It's okay. Like
It's
it's really
okay. It's
fine.
okay to be empathetic.
And he's like,
He
no, no,
does
no. Well,
that a
it's all
couple
about profit.
times. There are a couple times when I'm like, you could get some like very duly deserved credit and also give like an accurate impression of yourself to Margaret. And instead you're like, no, it's all about business and capitalism and
I
I'm
know.
making money. And I'm like, Thornton,
Important. Perhaps that's not the way to appeal yourself to Margaret, who
I give
is
him an
this
A
like
plus for yearning and like a C minus for flirting.
he is so bad at flirting.
Maybe a
Like,
D.
good God, he's terrible at it. He's been yearning this whole time, and yet all the conversations he has with Margaret turn out antagonistic because they don't like really see eye to eye or come from the same background at all. So
Yeah.
Margaret is like, why can't you be more sympathetic to your like workers or whatever? And he's like, I have bills to pay, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's like crazy. And Elizabeth was clearly the author. What was struck me kind of like listening to it was that Elizabeth clearly had some stuff to say about like workers' rights slash like
She did.
capitalism slash like the way that like money moves in like her society. And I found that so interesting and cool for like a
A
woman
woman?
writer to be
Yes.
like, I'm just going to take a full chapter and have my characters hash this out. And it doesn't have anything to do with my romance plot. And I'm
I
just going to
loved
say
it.
what I think. I was
I
like,
loved it.
dang,
I
she's
love
so
that she did
cool.
that and she still humanized both sides of a very divisive issue. And like still like
Yes.
to the point that like they saw so much value in each other, like they couldn't stay away from each other, even though, oh my God, completely different. And they really needed to find some common ground. Like,
Yes.
God, she did amazing. Amazing.
Yeah, it was fascinating. I really like enjoyed reading it for that reason. I think that was like one of the coolest parts because like watching the mini series, it's like you get a little bit of that, but I mean, you do get a lot of that still. But I think that there were a lot of like actual chapters that were just that in the book.
Yeah.
Whereas like the miniseries, they're like, okay, but it's mostly about the romance. And honestly, reading the book, I was kind of like, it's about half about like her personal
Her
feelings about
life.
social issues,
Yeah, it
which I
really
thought was
is.
very cool. And I understand why Dickens wanted to be
If
like her
not even
editor.
like two-thirds, until like the last half of the book is much more like about the
Mhm.
romance. But like the first half or
Yeah.
even the first two-thirds is much more about like setting the scene and like social issues.
Yes, it
But in a
was
really
so
good way that
cool.
didn't feel like it sacrificed the story. Like I wasn't bored, which is crazy
No.
for a book that took 19 hours to get through. I
Yes.
was never bored, which is
Neither was
wild.
I. Neither
Super
was I.
strange.
I
Yeah.
thought she did a great job of like kind of keeping the pace, but also like clearly getting across what she wanted to get across. And I thought that
Yeah.
was very cool of her. And also it's just interesting to kind of like you said, people are the same forever. So like, reading about characters in North and South, you're kind of like, oh, I can sort of relate this to my own personal
Yeah.
world and like the society I live in. But also it's interesting at the same time to see like the differences and like how oh, this is how Margaret would have had to interact with this in a society that still kind of has like class at the same time.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
from an American modern perspective, it's always interesting to me to read Victorian or even before that, like British
Yeah.
literature, because there is definitely a difference between like Americans. Obviously, we have like a weird class thing, maybe economically, but we don't at all have the like you're born with it class,
Not at
which
all.
is so like I don't know if you're any UK listeners. I don't know. I mean, y'all don't have this either anymore, I assume, but like it's very interesting to like read it, because it feels so
Yeah.
alien. It's like no, we got
Yeah.
rid of that very quickly.
Oh,
you know?
immediately. Yeah. And like what's glorified in American culture is usurping your status. Even still,
Yes.
even your economic status. If you're able to usurp your economic status beginning and you're able to be like make a business to become really wealthy, we're like, woohoo! Like we love to usurp the status quo. That's the thing.
Yes. And I guess there is like a new money, old money thing. Sometimes like, oh, I recently
Hmm.
rewatched Great Gatsby because my Ben read it for class and he was talking to me about it and we got to talk about themes and stuff.
Oh
And
my gosh.
it was so great.
That's
And I was like, oh, I
amazing.
love to talk about
If you
Gatsby.
guys don't
Anyways,
know,
so
Ben is her younger brother, and there's like a bit of an age gap.
yeah,
So,
Ben is 10 years younger than me, so he gets to do stuff later than me. So it was fun.
oh,
But yeah.
sometimes I
So
wonder
we
what that would
watched
be like to have like a sibling 10 years younger than me. And I'm like, oh my God,
I
a sweet little baby.
I personally love it. He's my darling boy. I mean, he doesn't think so. He thinks he's big, but to
Well,
me,
of
he's a
course,
baby.
yeah. I think I saw a picture of him
But
with his girlfriend on Instagram, and I was like, absolutely not.
I
You are 2 years
know
old.
they're
What is
so
happening?
big.
And
They're
poor
so
Ben is like
big.
only really ever known me or remembered me as an adult, so he has no concept of the fact that I first knew him as a 2 year old.
Tiny guy. Yeah.
So he's like,
No,
I've
I
only
know.
ever known you as almost an adult. Like, what is this? Like, why are you
He's
looking at me
like,
like that?
okay.
Why are there tears in your eyes? Why do you give me a hug every time you see me, even though you don't hug anyone else? And I'm like, because you're 2 years old, man.
You're like, Ben, you don't get it. No, I know. I'm the same way. I'm like, no, you're my baby. But yeah, so we watched Great Gatsby together, and I was kind of like in Gatsby, I was anyway, sorry, I was thinking about us reading Gatsby again because that was so fun.
I was
Um,
just thinking about Gatsby too, so I was
it is
literally
like
just thinking
the
about it.
best book ever. I can't get
It is
over it.
really good.
But like, of course, and I guess we don't have like we haven't completely eradicated like there's still like old money, new money that like we're
Yeah.
familiar with, but it's not the same as like you're a lord, you're a lady. It's totally
No.
different.
The closest we
So
have
like
is on the East Coast. If you're like blue blood, old money out on the East Coast,
if you're
like
Kennedy, yeah,
yeah, if you're a Kennedy, Gilmore Girl style, there is a little bit of that sort of thing, but it is not common. If you're in the South, if your family has oil money, sort of, but it's still not as
yeah,
old of old money. It's
and it's
considered older money.
yeah, and it's not the same as like Margaret is not even rich, but she's technically a lady.
She has
And so
prestige. There's no
there's like some
prestige
kind of
here.
thing. Yeah, and it's very weird. Like I can't fully even um relate it to my current situation. Like we don't know any people who are ladies.
No.
So it's like very
No.
weird. But like
Yeah.
so it's kind of crazy for her to be friends with Nicholas Higgins, who is like this
It's
Milton guy.
completely crazy. It's completely crazy. It's like beyond, it's like if I went out on the street and met a homeless man who I do not know and was like, let's be besties. And suddenly we became besties.
Very cool. So they're best friends.
It's
And
crazy. People would
he's
be like,
like
what
older
is
than
Ash doing?
her. What is she
What?
doing? It's so great. Um,
It's amazing. It's wonderful. And it becomes this huge, important part of her life, like intensely important, super
yeah.
influential part of her life, whole huge part of her life, which is just goes to show to Brits and Americans that status, whether it's economic or socioeconomic, or whether it's, bloodlines or whatever, like it should not have that much of an impact, people or people. But it was completely unexpected and amazing, and it really took me off guard. And
Yeah,
Higgins has a
it's
little
so fun.
daughter.
Yes, so Bessie is Margaret's age and she's dying. And then they have
Bessie.
another daughter I forgot her name, which is fitting because they treat her like shit.
Isn't the little one Bessie and the older one Mary?
No, Bessie's the older one. Mary is the younger one.
Oh, I got that mixed up.
Yeah.
'Cause for some reason,
So
Bessie seemed younger to me.
Bessie is a young name, but yeah. So Bessie and Margaret ended up being friends, but yes, Mary, thank you. So me and Emily were cracking up actually listening to it because everyone is so mean to Mary for no reason.
They really
They're like
are.
so
Even
mean.
Elizabeth always has mean things to say about Mary, and I'm like, I must have
Well,
missed what she did. I must have missed it.
I was like,
She
I think
seems
Mary's
fine.
just a teenager doing her best. Like, she's just a little awkward right now. Like, sorry, bless
Yeah.
her heart. Anyway, so that's kind of what's also going on with Margaret. So she's getting influence from them because Nicholas ends up being the leader of this strike against the like cotton industry, basically, because they're not getting their wages are about to be decreased actually,
hmm
which is totally messed up considering like they have to work so much
Oh my
and
God, it's
like working
horrible.
conditions are horrible, like truly
This is
horrible.
Forget about the unions you know
And
now, which are completely different than when unions started. When unions started, oh boy, were they needed. Like, this is insane. It was insane. The working conditions were inhuman, horrible.
yeah, and like I'm pretty pro union, but it's like this is like it's also like the but when you but Elizabeth presents it so interestingly because you also have John as the main character, and John is saying like nobody is buying cotton, so we have to do something. Like there's no, you're kind of
It's
getting both sides of it.
interesting to get both sides. Yes.
Yes. So it's very interesting. And Margaret is kind of caught between both sides because she's friends with Higgins, but also friends with John and
Yep.
like all
And she's
the,
from outside, so she doesn't
and
really
she's
have a
from,
leg to stand on, because she hasn't really been in this society much.
yes. So it's like very, very interesting. So we get a lot of cool talks about that kind of thing.
hmm And she never holds back from sharing her opinion, which I love.
No,
Even though
even if
people
she
are
doesn't have
sometimes
a good
like,
opinion.
even if it's wrong or completely uninformed, she always says which, and sometimes she says things and you're like, oh, sweetie, I see why you think that, but maybe read the room first. Or maybe, spend another month here before you.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. I was totally getting secondhand embarrassment sometimes with Margaret because I'm like, girl, you don't know what's
Yes.
going on. Like, I'm
You have
so
no idea what's
sorry.
going on. Yeah, it's crazy, which was so interesting. I mean, Elizabeth did it so well. Elizabeth Gaskell is just a master of her craft. She did it excellently. I was like, this is so, because haven't we all, where you said something and then later you're like, oh my God, if I had known that, I wouldn't have said that.
Yes.
Like,
It's so embarrassing. I was like, oh, honey, Margaret, please.
for
I
real.
had to keep remembering. I was like, oh, she's 18. She's 18.
Wait, she's
Like,
18. She's 18 years old. And I keep forgetting that too because I guess spoiler, I don't know. At the end, like there's like a period of time between like she basically leaves and doesn't see Thornton for a while. And I'm like, "Oh my
mm-hmm.
God, it's been so long. Now she's old, past her childbearing years. She's 27 and a burden to her parents." Like that kind of thing. And I'm like, "Wait, wasn't she just only 18? Is she like what, 20
Like, hold
now?"
on. Wait a minute.
Insane. Is she not almost a decade younger than me now?
Did I
Oh
swallow the
my God,
propaganda? Yeah. Exactly. I know.
insane.
I'm like, oh my God, it's been so long.
Oh, wait a minute.
He's like tiny still.
She is
Um,
still a wee baby.
but yeah, so anyway, there's a lot of that. There's a lot of strikes happening. There's this other character, Boucher, who is ends up dying. Like it's so sad. Like there's a lot
So
of really
sad.
sad stuff that happens.
There's a moment
Bessie.
in one of the strikes where she goes to protect
Oh,
Thornton.
thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, did you want to say it, or do you want
No,
me
you
to?
can say it. I'm sure you'll
Okay.
say it better because
Um,
that's
I
basically what
was
I
forgetting some
remember.
of my main like touchstones here for the middle of the plot. But yes, so Margaret goes to the Thornton's house, and while she's there, this he had brought in workers from Ireland, which this is also messed up because all these people in Ireland are dying of the
The
famine,
famine. Yeah.
which England caused. Anyway, but we're not getting
Yes.
into that. we're not getting into it, but they did.
England.
And
I mean, we're not, but
screw you,
England.
England.
It's okay. They know.
So
They know. I assume they know. Y'all better know.
they
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 know. They
surely
know.
know.
Everyone else knows.
So these Irish famine people came over to work the mill because everyone striked, and John still needs people to work, and it's a mess. And you're kind of suddenly like, wow, what do I think about this? But you're also like, well, it's not my business to think about it because I'm a modern person and this is from the 1860s England. But then you're like, well, maybe I should be thinking about it because this does have repercussions on our current society. But then you're like, well, on vacation in New Zealand, so I don't want to think about it. Anyway, so
When
that's
you're
kind of
like,
what's going on.
I work from home from my laptop sitting at my dresser. So like, feels like a
So
very different scenario. I have no idea.
it's a lot. So anyway, so they bring in people to work, and then of course everyone in Milton is pissed because they're like, what are you doing bringing, first of all, they're kind of racist against Irish people. Second of all, they are pissed because somebody else is going to take their job
Mhm.
that they want more wages for.
I
So
feel like
they
this
like,
happens here too. Like this is not that's not uncommon. That happens here too. There was
oh,
just that
like
that dock workers
international
strike.
workers.
Yeah. Yeah, where that
Oh
happens.
yeah,
And people
like,
are getting all mad because they'll like they have their demands or whatever and then they're like basically if we can get to a compromise, we'll get to a compromise. But if either side's still not going to compromise, like they're just going to hire people from somewhere else. Which sucks, but it's sort of like the final trump card in these things. So
I
it was like,
mean, it is
nothing has
kind of like
changed.
how it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just messy all around, really, and that's just how it is. Like,
Yeah.
sorry. So they come in, and so everyone kind of storms the Thorntons house. And
Yes, they do. Very Beauty
it's
and the
like
Beast.
being a little bit violent. And
Yes.
so
They've got like pitchforks
which
with them. They're like, we're ready to go.
yeah, which isn't great.
No.
And so John or Margaret is basically like, John, you need to go out there and talk to them like real people because she's been hanging out with them, and she's like,
Hmm.
listen, I know that they just like are frustrated and whatever.
Yeah. And he's
And
like, you super don't understand the situation, Margaret. And I'm like, you
yeah,
both have a point. And
they
they do
both do
both
have
have
a
a point.
point. Yeah. You're so right, bestie. They really do.
They really
Um,
did, yeah.
so John is like, okay, but I am in love with her. So he
I
goes
guess
out
I'll do
there.
it because of the way
Oh,
a bracelet falls down her wrist. You watch a bracelet fall down her wrist and then not go do what she says. Yeah, you tell me how you can manage that.
yeah. You tell me how you're going to do that, buddy. Oh my God, you're
110% yearning.
you're so funny. Oh my God, I'm crying. So, so anyway, yeah, he turned it up to 110%. So he's out there and he's like, listen, everybody, like my girlfriend told me to come out here. And while he's out there,
Hi,
Margaret,
girlfriend.
they start freaking out. And so Margaret's like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. I told him to do this. So she runs out there too. And then they get violent. And Margaret basically like shields John with her body to like protect him
Yes.
against him throwing rocks, which
So
is number one,
romantic.
crazy of her to do. Yeah, romantic.
Yes,
I
but
don't
also
even blame
crazy.
him for this.
No.
And so then Margaret gets hit in the head with a
Yeah.
rock, and
Yeah.
everyone is like, oh shoot. And so it kind of gets dispersed, and they take Margaret back in, and she's like got a head injury.
He
And
is like,
they
he carries her in. He's like cradling her in his arms. And this is a moment they flash back to many times. And it's like, I'm like, is this where the trope came from? Is this the birth of
is
the
this it?
trope? It could be
Yes.
of the like woman gets injured and the man is like holding her in his arms. Like,
Yes.
this might be the birth
It's
of the
like
trope. I don't know.
crazy. Elizabeth was on some other shit. Like,
She
really, she
really
was.
was. I'm like, I
And,
don't know. I don't feel like she was from her time. You remember when we read Phantom of the Opera and the author, we were like, that man has seen an iPhone.
yeah.
Like there was just he did not come from that time. I feel that way about Elizabeth too.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes.
Like, I don't know. She has
They were
been
both
respected
like,
as an equal in the workforce. I just know it.
I just know it for a fact. So funny, I'm dying. Okay. So anyway, so then basically Margaret gets sent home, And John is like, oh, what a crazy day. And while he's doing that, John's mom, who is insane, is like,
Ugh.
well, you have to propose to her now, basically, because she's in love with you. Clearly, she is like, who else would do that? And John is like, oh my God, do you really think so? And she's like, well, yeah. She shielded you with her body. And John
And
is
then
like,
she's
she
also
really
like,
did.
and what woman is crazy enough to not want my sweet babushka boy? Like everyone
Yes.
would want my sweet baby angel boy.
Oh my God. She's obsessed with him. Yeah. She's like,
It's
no one would ever turn him down.
and
Oh,
then she does.
and then she does. Yeah. John goes over there and proposes, and it's not a very good proposal. And Margaret's like, I'm so sorry. I would have done that for anyone because I'm a normal, empathetic
Human
human
being.
being.
Once again, it's just like back to Pride and Prejudice when Darcy's like, despite the inferiority of your family and against my better judgment, and you're like, this is the best you could do.
Like, please step it up, bud. Please, I'm begging
Oh
you.
my God, you are
But
failing in the proposals department. How can you be such a good yearner? Oh
oh,
my
it's so
God.
bad.
So
Like
bad.
I feel so bad for Thornton because I know he genuinely means it. And
He was
also
trying his best and he
he
did better
was
than Darcy.
he did better than Darcy. And he like has these moments where he's like, oh, well, at the end, he's kind of like, you know what? That's totally fine. I just am going to be in love with you and I will just be in love with you. And that's fine. You don't have to do anything about it. Like,
It's crazy. Okay, this is amazing. This is amazing because he doesn't give up, which every woman wants a guy to like love her so much he doesn't give up. But every woman also wants to not be like creeped on by a dude who
yes,
won't give her up. And so I
yes.
do acknowledge that this is not realistic whatsoever. But Thornton embodies this totally unrealistic,
Yeah.
amazing expectation where he's like, I will just love you forever from afar until you are ready. If you are ever ready to love me, and if not, that's okay. I will just love you from afar and let you do your thing.
Yes.
Like, I understand that that's completely unrealistic, but like, that is the thing that everyone wants to be loved enough that you will still be loved even if you don't give them what they want. Like, that is
It
and
was
Margaret
so
has no
crazy.
idea. But I was like, oh my God, Thornton, oh my God, you might be the most eligible man that we've ever read. He might
He's
be the most
so
eligible.
eligible.
He's
Like
incredibly eligible.
he is the man.
He
Oh my
is
God, I love
the man of the
him.
hour, the man of the
Man of
decade,
the hour.
of the century, of the
Man of the
eon.
year. Yes. A man of the eon, John Thornton. So true. Oh my God. Yes, it was so sweet. And so basically, he's like, well, that was so embarrassing. I can't believe that happened. Well, I guess I have told her I'm in love with her and I will continue to be in love with her. And then he does like ridiculous stuff like bringing her mother fresh fruit because the doctor told her that she should have fresh fruit and she's dying. And Thornton found out and is kind. Like, that's ridiculous.
So
And
ridiculous
so
and so
he's,
and he's like besties with her dad. Like not just the
mm-hmm.
tutoring thing, like they're besties and it's just like this is so sweet. Meanwhile, his mom is like, "Oh, that horrible Margaret girl. She's awful and I'll hate her forever because she turned you down. She has no taste, that little blah, blah, blah." Like she is like For real.
Exactly.
She
Um,
hates her. She is the most toxic boy mom to ever
she's
like step foot on
horrendous.
stage. She's
She's
awful.
terrible.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Um, never set foot on stage. So yeah, horrible. Um, so anyway, things kind of keep progressing. And also a subplot that's going on is that Margaret's older brother, Frederick, has been
This was insane. I was almost like, this is too
crazy
much now. I know this is
subplot.
a long book, but this feels like too much to keep up with.
Basically, her brother was in the Navy and was on a ship where the captain was crazy. And Frederick, her brother, basically like had a mutiny against the captain who was like evil. And now he is wanted by the British government for mutiny.
And
And
all the
so he
other
lives,
sailors who were arrested for the mutiny were
yep,
hung. So
we're
he's
hung.
not coming back to England.
Oh, yeah, because he was basically in charge of it. So he is in Spain and has been for many years. And
He's
basically, there's no
engaged to a
chance of
woman there.
he's engaged, which problematic age gap, but
Oh,
it's
I didn't even
1850,
notice.
so I'll allow it.
What was the
Um,
age gap? I
I
didn't,
think
I
she's
clearly skimmed it.
I think she's like 17. And
Oh,
he's
God.
like 29 or something. Like it's not good.
We are really pushing those limits,
We
even
are
for the
pushing it,
time.
but I
Woo!
am just pretending like I do not see it. It is okay.
Mm. We're just gonna assume that he's probably extremely immature. I mean, he probably
he's
is, but still,
Frederick is a great guy, I'm gonna assume.
yeah.
Because I do like that he stood up for everyone against that evil captain. And
Yeah,
I
I
do
like
like
that
that.
too.
So basically though, Margaret's mother is dying. And she's like, oh, all I ever wanted was to see Frederick again. And
Okay,
so,
also, she referred to him as her first baby, and I was like,
yes.
because in these books, like they never ever refer to the first son ever as having been a baby, and that's always been strange to me, especially after I had Riley, because I'm like, that is my baby, my first baby. Not that if I
Mm-hmm.
had another kid, they wouldn't be just as valuable to me, but like I wouldn't ever be like, ah, this is my baby, and that's Riley, my firstborn. I would be
Yeah,
like, these
yeah.
are my
They're
babies,
my
my
babies.
babies.
Yes.
And the
Yes.
mom does say that about him, that he's her first baby, and I was like, this is so relatable and
Yeah.
real. And like, it's good to know because I was just like, is this like a cultural? This book really, like, I feel like set some things straight for me as far as like, I've been like, assumptions I've been making about like what's just a human experience and what's like cultural as a result of like my time and society. And there were a
Yes.
lot of things that I thought were just like a result of when and where I live. But then reading this, I was like, oh my God, I think it must just be human, which is cool. Like
Mm-hmm.
it must just be a human thing. And the way that we talked about it and the ways that we felt the freedom to express those feelings have changed quite a bit. But that was
Yes.
interesting. And I was like, well, now my heart's kind of broken now for every other story I've ever read about a boy who was essentially just
Yes.
like talked about as like a distant relative, even though they were like the firstborn son, because that was just more
Yes.
dignified, even though like that was a mom's baby.
That
That's
was
so
somebody's
sad.
baby. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's very sad.
very sad.
Oh, I love that you had that because, like, I love that experience of being like, oh, we're all the same. Like, even reading stuff that's written in
Yeah.
like Middle English or something, and you're like, oh,
Yes.
I feel this emotion,
And I feel
like,
like the farther back you go in books, like the farther like something was published in the past, the less frequently you experience that. Because just the way we
mm-hmm.
talk about things is so different, the cultural
Things,
expectations and norms so different.
sure. But like,
Yeah.
then you realize, like, oh, the emotions are still there.
They're still there,
Like,
they're the same.
all
It's
these
so crazy.
parents who had like 18 kids or whatever, and like half
Yeah.
of them died. It's like, it's not that they didn't feel it as intensely as some people now would.
No,
They did, you know?
they did.
It's so
Yeah.
sad.
They just talked
And
about it
so,
differently. Yeah.
yes.
I had
And
this
so,
so
like,
much with this book with so many things, but I
oh,
had that
yeah.
too, where I was like, oh, her baby. So he came back
Oh,
to see her at risk of being caught and hung, came back to see his mom before she died.
yes, sweet Frederick. And so Margaret kind of arranged that. And so he comes back and, yeah, gets to like see his mom before she dies. And then she does die. From what? We're not sure.
No idea. From the
From
stress
like
of a
being
move,
upset.
maybe. Yeah,
Yeah.
from being upset and angsty, I guess. I don't know. For marrying the man that she
So
loved instead of a
crazy.
wealthy man. I don't know.
Can we talk really, really quickly about how um Dixon is in love with her?
The
Dixon,
mom or her?
the
Oh, the
maid,
maid?
is
Oh my
absolutely in
God,
love with
right?
the mom.
She is. She is. Okay, I'm glad you picked
Absolutely.
up on that too. 100%. I was like, if you guys are not
How
watching this
else?
on YouTube, you can't see the expression because I don't have words to convey.
It is
It's
like
so
unbelievable.
obvious.
It's like crazy. I'm like, there's no other way to read this.
She
I'm
like out
so
and out
sorry.
says like I love her so dearly. I love her above all else or something like that. And you're like
Like, Dixon, what are
in
you saying?
combination with everything else, it's like, oh man,
And she hates the dad. She like hates
oh
him.
yeah. Yeah.
She's like obsessed with
It is so
it's
obvious she loves her. She's
it's
in love with her.
crazy. It's like she's definitely in love.
I
Anyway,
don't
so
know
I'm
if
glad.
Elizabeth did it on purpose, but I feel like it had to be, right? I
I
don't
mean,
know.
that's the only way I've ever seen it or read it. Even watching
If
the
you look at
miniseries.
how much of this is so relatable, you go, there's no way that Elizabeth didn't mean for that. to make the impact that it did.
Must have known.
She must have known that was intentional.
I'm glad
Yeah.
that you caught it too, because I was like, I'm sure Ash is picking up on this.
Repeatedly, I was like, so Dixon's in love with the mom.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Super in
That's
love.
it's like really obvious. Um so anyway, that's just something else going on in the background for anyone
Yep.
who's interested. But
Yeah.
yeah, so Frederick comes back, but then Frederick has to leave because Dixon knows somebody who recognized Frederick and it's like this big deal. And so like if they
Hmm.
find out Frederick is here, he might get killed. So Frederick has to leave all of a sudden. And so Margaret and Frederick are like at the train station. And then this guy shows up and is being weird towards them. And
Oh,
like they get in an altercation, and Frederick pushes him and he falls and hits his head. And then Frederick gets on the train really quick. But the only person who saw all of this was Mr. Thornton, who also happened to be there. And so
right.
basically,
And
after
doesn't
this,
know that
there's
the brother even exists because they basically don't talk about him because essentially like a criminal, he's considered like
yes,
a military criminal sort of. And so
yes,
he's like, well, she was just there with some strange man at a dark hour hiding him and then he, got into an altercation and scurried off.
yes. So he's like, oh my God, Margaret's like seeing someone on the side. Like
But
he's
he loves
freaking
her so
out.
much that he's like, I would never tell anyone. I wouldn't want to sully her reputation like that. And you're like, oh my God, I respect so much how sweet and honorable you are, but also maybe go ask her a question.
Like you could just ask her.
Oh
But
my
not that she was
gosh.
standing. But yeah, so then
No.
like this literal police inspector shows up to Margaret's house because the guy who they pushed died. And so
I
they
was so
basically murdered a
stressed.
guy.
Except that then they found out, well, it could have been because he already had conditions going on and he was excessively drunk.
It could have been, yes. But like they didn't help for sure.
No, it was very much like if he had been super drunk and didn't have problems, like would he have died? Probably not. But would he have died if they hadn't pushed him? Also, probably not. It was a very bad combination of things.
It was not good. And so Margaret, but Margaret like freezes up basically, and she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I wasn't even there at all. I don't even know what's going on. And he's like, oh, well, that's crazy because I'm have a witness who says he for sure saw you like near the train
And she's like,
station. And
"Well,
she's
he
like,
didn't
well,
because
no, it
I
wasn't
didn't go
me.
there. What train station?
I
I've never
definitely
seen it in
wasn't
my
there.
life. I've never even seen a
Yeah,
train. What is a train?"
I don't even know what a train is. Yeah. And then um the guy goes to Mr. Thornton, and Mr. Thornton, who is apparently a magistrate, is like,
Oh my
oh,
God, what? I didn't know that until then either. What? We were
yeah,
just supposed to know that?
yeah. He's like, yeah, you can forget about it. It's probably fine. He's like, I looked into it and it's fine. And the
He
guy's
did,
like,
and they
oh,
were like,
really?
"Cool. All right, sweet."
Thornton's like, no, it's totally fine. I signed off on it already. It's fine. Don't look into Margaret Hale anymore. It's totally cool.
Yeah, she's definitely completely innocent. Hasn't done anything weird or illicit at all. So,
But like inside he's like simmering because he's like, I can't believe Margaret has a boyfriend. Like he's freaking out because he
for
thinks
real?
Frederick is Margaret's
Oh,
boyfriend.
he is melting down.
Oh, it's so crazy. Anyway, skipping ahead. Margaret's dad also dies. Bessie dies. Everyone dies.
Hmm.
The strike ends up ending. And then Higgins and Thornton sort of become friends.
And
And
Higgins ends
then,
up caring for the family of the man who
yes,
died
Boucher's
when,
family.
yes, when her brother Frederick or whatever pushed him off the train deck,
Oh, no, that's a
the
different guy.
platform. Oh, it's a different guy?
Yes. Boucher killed himself in the
You're
river.
correct. He's the one he killed himself in the river, and then somehow, horribly, Margaret had to be the one to go deliver the news.
Okay, that was crazy. I was like, why is Margaret the one saying all of this? Like, this is insane. Yeah,
Yeah, that
okay,
was
so
wild.
Boucher dies. Margaret goes and tells his wife, and then his wife dies. And so, so that's like 5 deaths already in North and South. And then, and then Higgins has to be in charge of all these kids. And
Yep.
also his daughter has died. And
Yep.
so,
I was so impressed with
it was
Higgins.
crazy.
Higgins' character arc is impressive.
I love
And it goes
Higgins.
a little up and down, a little up and down. And then
Oh
I'm
yeah,
like, wow,
he is.
I would read a book just about him.
He's rough around the edges for sure, but like he
Hmm.
steps up when he needs to, you know?
He does.
And I
Bless
appreciate that.
Higgins. Yeah.
And so then Margaret is basically like on her own, but Mr. Bell, her dad's friend,
Mm-hmm.
shows up and he's like, "Listen, Margaret, I've got you. Like, we'll hang out." And so Margaret's like, "Great." Then Mr. Bell dies and leaves her all of his money.
Yep.
And while this is going on, Thornton
Loses all his
loses his
business.
whole business.
Oh my gosh. And is still in
Mark
love with Margaret.
is still in love, but they haven't seen each other now for like a year.
Yeah.
It's like crazy.
Yeah.
And so Margaret,
Yeah,
I
she's
think,
like fully like 19 now.
yes, she's like fully 19. She's like an
Fully
adult
19.
adult.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so she went back to London, I think, and is living and is like hanging out a lot more with Henry Lennox because he's a lawyer and is helping her deal with her estate.
Yes.
But then she kind of reconnects with Thornton and is like, she has this idea about, she finds out that so Belle dies, leaves her all of his money. And Margaret is like, "Oh, well, I could maybe help Thornton with his mill," because she's also realized maybe she's in love with Thornton.
Took her long
So
enough. Took her a
it took
whole
her
year
long enough.
from the age of 18 to 19.
I know. And so, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Okay, so I'm just skipping ahead to the end
Go for it.
because all of this has already happened, blah, blah, blah. There's a lot going on. Um, so then Thornton shows up, and where has he been? Helston. And he brought roses for her from Helston. And she's like, "Oh my God, I cannot believe this." Because Margaret went back for a bit too. But then or Thornton went there literally just to see the place where she loves so much. Like, he was not expecting her to do anything. He literally was just like, "I just want to go to the place that Margaret likes." And like, oh, and then and they have like this whole scene where he's like, "So I am still in love with you," and she's like, "That's so great because I'm in love with you too." And then they kiss. They totally make out.
Oh
Did
yeah,
you
for real.
catch that?
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah, that they make out.
Elizabeth had
Yeah.
like a little pause where she was like, "Anyway, a couple minutes later," and I'm like, oh,
Yes, I did totally. A couple minutes.
I'm like,
Well, ma'am, what were you doing in those couple minutes?
they were making out. I could not believe it. I was like, "Girl, you get it." Okay,
Also,
something Jane
finally.
Austen would never do. Yeah,
Oh, I know. She was definitely more like direct and perhaps a little less proper than Jane
mm-hmm,
Austen. Hmm.
totally. And I love that personally. I was like, let them make out. They
Oh
deserve it.
yeah. Is this considered a spicy book for back then?
This is spicy.
Or maybe this is Baby Spice and was it Mrs. Chatterley's Lover or whatever? That's spicy.
Yeah. This was like a tasteful cutaway.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
so basically Margaret is like, "Well, I'm so sorry that Henry couldn't be here to explain the like deal I wanted to propose to you." And he's like, "He doesn't have to be here." And she's like, "You're so right, babe. Like, let's just
He
get
does
in it
not need to
together."
be here. Maybe it's better, if it's just us, the two of us alone
I think it
together, the
might be
two of us,
better. It's like,
and no one else is here.
yeah,
And thank God your mom's not here.
thank God. So basically, Margaret like bails Thornton out of like debt and like
Yeah.
gets him
Saves
gets
his
his mill running
business.
again. And
Yeah,
they're just gonna live happily ever after. And I assume go visit Frederick in Spain for their honeymoon. That's what
I would
I think.
assume. Yeah, I think so too. That had been her plan was to try and go see him in Spain. So
Yeah.
I would assume
So
so.
it's basically all going great for Margaret, except for the
Yeah.
fact that like 30% of the people that she knows died.
Yeah, and
Um,
that if she has children's in the manufacturing town, there's a good chance that they're gonna have that weird lung fluff disease.
oh brother. So, it's about as good as it can be for
Really,
1850s England.
truly. Yeah, as good as it
Um,
can, especially in an industrial town. This is the dream.
it's going awesome.
It's going to be easy.
So yeah, so we love it. So yeah, that's North and South,
North
baby.
and South. It's long, and our summary was long because it is okay, recall this, you guys. I want everyone to remember that it took at 1.4 speed, it took me 19 hours and 20 minutes to get through the
Yes.
audiobook. That is crazy. This is a really long book, and it's strange because when I hold this up to you guys, if you're watching this on YouTube, it doesn't look like it's that long, doesn't it? It doesn't look that long.
Mm-mm.
Okay, but like
But it
other
is.
books that are this length are like 12 hours. This is 19 hours and 20 and 12 hours at my speed. So 19 hours and 20 minutes at my speed, which is probably more like 22 hours. So crazy. Absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Super long, but it didn't
And
feel long at all.
no, and I'm out of practice for giving summaries because we don't do the pod as much, but I did my best. So sorry,
You did
everyone.
great. I don't feel like you delved into anything that we didn't need to delve into. So like I
I
think this
didn't
is
get
just going
into
to be a
half of it,
longer
really.
episode because it's a longer book.
It's a long book, okay?
It is.
And
It is.
everyone needs to go watch the miniseries and read the book.
I'll be showing up on your doorstep so that we can watch it
Please,
together.
Ash.
I'll bring sparkling wine
Oh my
and rose water so we
God.
can make the actual like rosy drinks. I'm just thinking maybe we call
Yes.
the drink Roses from Helston. I
I
don't know.
love that.
It's
I love
simple,
it.
it's classy.
Do it.
Yep. Anyways,
Do it. Do it.
I don't know, but now I'm thinking there could be some joke about yearning we could put in there. I don't know. This is the problem. I'm this is
Oh
like the
Lord.
sweetest, most eligible bachelor in any classic we've ever read.
He's
Okay, but
so good.
sweet, 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 darling, eligible, stable Thornton aside.
He's so stable. The
So
stability.
stable. It's the stability. I know. Back to what, episode one.
Yeah. Back to
What
our
is
roots.
your favorite and least favorite part?
My favorite part might be the end when Thornton and Margaret are like, okay, we're in love. Oh, it's so good.
It
And it's
is.
so good in the miniseries. It's slightly different than it is in the book, but
At what point does it happen in the miniseries? Like at the end?
at the end still. But it's a
Mm.
different setting. And it is crazy.
Is it
You're
as
gonna love
good
it.
as like the random like arch thing with the pillars and Pride and Prejudice in the rain?
Um, it's almost there. There's some
Mm.
things before it that kind of like spice it up a little more. There's some stuff
Ooh.
with Thornton where that you don't totally get in the book that's like
Ooh la
still totally in
la.
character, but like you get a few little lines in there. Oh, you'll
Mm-hmm.
love it. You'll love it, Ash. You'll love it.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah, I love them finally admitting they're in love and then making out. That's my favorite part. Um, least favorite part, I don't know. Maybe when Bessie dies, it's so sad.
I
Because I'm
know.
like, what did she ever do? Nothing.
Literally
Do I even
nothing.
care that Margaret's parents died? Not that much. Like, so
No.
sorry to them. But
I know, they really sucked.
oh,
My favorite part is that's hard. A lot of it was so favorite. My favorite parts probably happened when like 100 little moments where like the character would say something or Margaret would say something like some thought or other that I was like same, exactly same. Like
mm-hmm,
completely relatable. I don't even need to like transpose this into like my culture and time. Like I just completely is exactly the same. So very
mm-hmm.
hard to name. But the relatability of the book in 100 little moments, my favorite part. Least favorite part, mm, that's hard. It was really, really sad when that man killed himself and she had to go tell his family. That was
It's
just
terrible. That actually might be my least
horrible.
favorite part too.
I think
I
that
hate
was
it
my
when Bowser
least
dies.
favorite because
I
it was
hate it.
just so sad. It was so sad. And Higgins felt like it was his fault and it was just so sad all around completely.
It's
And
really
Higgins
bad.
made a good thing out of it in a way. He was able to be a big blessing to the children, but it was still like, painfully tragic.
Yeah,
Um,
totally.
let's see, favorite, least favorite characters. Thornton's my favorite character,
Oh, Thornton.
in case you're wondering.
Yeah, I do love Thornton.
He's good.
He might be my favorite too. Even though I love Margaret as well.
I
She's
also love Margaret, but
she's
Thornton is
great.
just a little more. He seems to like, I think he's older than her. He already knows
He's
himself a little
older.
bit better.
Yes, that's the thing. Margaret's
Yeah,
still baby to me. I'm like,
she's still baby. By the end, they're really on par completely with each other for knowing themselves. But,
mm-hmm.
and he's even learned some too. Like he grows throughout the book too. Least favorite character?
Um, I did not like her cousin. I'm so sorry. Her
Really?
cousin is really flighty and like kind of like
She reminded me of the
naive.
sister in Persuasion.
Yes.
Yeah,
I was like, shut up. You don't understand anything. Like,
yeah.
you're
Or like
so
Amy March. They all feel like they're sort of in the same category to me. Like the
Yeah,
sort
where
of
I'm
like flighty, spoiled younger sister
like, you
sort
don't
of
get it.
scenario. Yeah.
You don't get it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Um,
dislike her.
okay, I don't hate Thornton's mom, but I don't
I
I'm
don't
still
love
gonna
her.
give her I'm
I
still
do,
gonna
I
give
guess,
her
but
the least favorite role because I hate the stereotype of the boy mom that she just plays into so strongly.
that's
And also
fair.
like she makes so many people's lives difficult that she doesn't need to, including her own sons, who she claims to care about so much.
Yeah,
It drives me crazy. It's so unnecessary.
it's ridiculous. What kills me is when she's like, Margaret, your mother told me that I needed to act like a mother to you. So I'm going to tell you now, you're being a slut whore.
Yeah, for
Like,
real. She does. It's horrible. She
I was
really,
like, Margaret
really
did
sucks.
nothing. Like,
Like,
oh my God.
Margaret's parents are like immature and shallow and rely on her way too much as their daughter, but in a way, like they seem to kind of like, I don't, they don't have this sense of superiority over her. Unlike
No.
Mrs. Thornton, who absolutely does, even though she sucks just as bad. She might be a little
Yes.
bit more independent, but she still sucks in different ways just as badly. So she's
She's
probably my
so,
least favorite.
she's terrible.
For real.
But she's so funny to me. Fanny is so funny to me. I
Oh
think
my
Fanny is
God. They're
hilarious.
both very funny. I would not want the book without them, but
Yeah,
oh
yeah,
my
yeah.
God. I would
I
also
wouldn't want to
not
hang
want to
out with
hang out
them
with
though.
them. No,
No,
not at all.
of course not.
Do you have any favorite quotes?
I wrote down one.
Ooh.
Um, okay. He shook hands with Margaret. He knew it was the first time their hands had met, though she was perfectly unconscious of the fact. He's
Oh,
very like, I'm obsessed with
amazing.
her. I am marking every single interaction we have. And she's like, oh yeah, my dad's friend. And I'm like, girl. And then later I'm
No.
like, you are gonna be so in love with him. You don't even know.
You just
But I kind of feel
wait.
like he was suppressing it. I'm like, girl, the descriptions that you gave of him, you thought he was hot. Come
Oh,
on.
it was so repressed. It was so
Yes.
repressed. Oh my God, she
Yes.
was so into him. It was so obvious to everybody else. My
It was
favorite quote, I
ridiculous.
don't remember specifically, but it was the one with the bracelet because I just remember it so vividly. So
Yes.
just, control F, find the word bracelet in the document, and
Yes.
that's the one. Um, what about lessons learned? What did we learn from this book?
We
Labor laws are a
learned
good thing.
labor laws are
Um,
good, thank God.
Unions
Uh,
have their place for surezies.
don't judge a book by its cover.
Mm-mm.
It's good to have friends from different backgrounds.
It is absolutely. Um, boy moms, take a chill pill. Take a step
Boy, moms
back.
need to chill.
You're not going to marry him. He's not your husband. It's your child. Step on back.
Step on back, baby. um, if you are desperately in love with someone and they don't love you back, that's great, but you cannot make that their problem, you know?
No, no,
Like
no.
he really was
You need
like,
to be a Mr. Thornton where
you
you're like, you know
got,
what? I'm gonna love you from afar for as long as I love you from afar, and I'm gonna have no expectations for you to return it. And
and you
then,
know what? It worked
he
out
could
for
have
him.
just as easily met somebody else and fallen in love with her, and it would have been like, no harm, no foul. You didn't go and ruin Margaret's life over it. That's great.
Yep.
That's awesome. Let's all learn a little something from Mr. Thornton.
Yes. He's so patient and sweet, I think. And
He
like,
is.
he's a great guy. I really do love him.
Dr. Thornton with
He's
a
played
PhD
in
in
the,
yearning.
yes, PhD. He's played in the miniseries by Richard Armitage, who plays
Okay, that feels
Thorin
fair.
from The Hobbit.
That feels accurate. Sure.
He's very, very hot. Oh,
The city and the
God.
country both have things to offer. In the city, you could get chronic illness, and in the country, you can get fresh pears. So,
Oh my God. Those pears sounded so
oh
good.
my God, didn't they? And I was like, I mean, I feel totally ambivalent about pears, but suddenly I'm like, I would like a pear tart, thank you. Like,
One pear for me, please. Thank you.
thank you.
Thank
I'll
you so
take
much.
one fresh pear for dessert. Thank you very much.
Oh, yes, it's not gonna pear. Down
Thank you.
here in the
I would
country.
like it sliced up and offered to me on a nice little china plate. Thank you. I will have it over here with my sparkling rose wine.
Like for real. I was like, pear has never sounded so good as it does right
Real.
now.
Well, they were like,
Oh
we could
my,
have like tarts or something for dessert, or we could just have fresh pear. And they were like, oh my God, delicacy of fresh pear. And I was like, oh my God, really?
maybe we should have had a pear drink. Like
I was like, I would like a Chips Ahoy cookie. Thank you.
you're Henry Lennox, like, oh no pears for me. Thank you so much. Do you have any
Thank
Chips
you
Ahoy?
for real.
Thornton comes back with a package of Chips Ahoy. He's like, I brought it from your home. I wanted to
Oh
see
my
where you
God,
grew up.
he does love me after all.
Oh
He knows me
dear.
so well.
Oh my god.
Why is that so funny?
Chips Ahoy. He's like, we don't have these in the north. They're all made of sawdust. You get cancer by eating one.
Have a heart attack.
They're so much cleaner in the south. It's 50 miles away.
It's a whole 50 miles away. I'll see you in a year's journey. Oh my gosh.
Oh Lord, help us.
That is really fun.
Anyway, so that's north and south.
North and South. How many pinkies
Yeah.
up would you give this book?
I give north and south 4 pinkies up.
Four pinkies up.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. This
Yes.
may be the first time that I've ever given a classic a higher pinkies up rating than you.
Oh, what is it?
It's 4.9.
Whoa.
We almost got to five
Very,
pinkies up. There were just a
very
couple
high.
moments where I was like, okay, I don't care about the scenery anymore. I was like, shh,
Mm-hmm.
let's just get back to the
Mm-hmm.
plot. But 4.9, I loved this book. I would
Oh,
absolutely read it
good.
again.
That's amazing. Oh, we love it. Thank you, Jane.
Maybe 4.95. Like we were
Oh
really
my
close.
God.
We were really close to a five. I don't know. I feel like at 4.95, am I just like not committing? I feel like I'm just not committing enough. I feel like I should just like
You just want to give it a 5. You do.
I do. I just go
Just
full
give it a
Mr.
5.
Thornton and I'm gonna commit to it. I'm gonna give it a five.
That's
Five pinkies
beautiful.
up. I
5
loved
pinkies
this
up from
book.
Ash.
Yep, five pinkies up for me. I loved it. And I had no idea what to think of it going into it. And then when we started and it was like, oh, she moves to an industrial city. I was immediately like, I'm gonna hate this. I am really
Mm.
not gonna like I was just sure I was not gonna like it. So I'm very surprised. But yeah,
I
I think
love that.
five pinkies up for me.
Oh my God. Oh, I love this. And I can't wait for you to watch.
Oh my gosh, me either.
You're going to love it.
Ugh. Okay, is that everything
I
that we
think that's
usually
it.
do?
I think what we did everything.
Okay, cool. Well, wonderful. By the time this episode comes out, the retreat will likely be happening or over, so we'll have updates for you soon. Our first ever
Slay.
Story Siren Studio writing retreat, but not the last one,
Pew,
so
pew,
don't
pew,
worry, you've
pew.
not missed your chance. You can join us along with Spoons for the next writing retreat.
That's
Which
right,
will happen
baby.
in the fall, maybe sometime in October, question mark. I don't know for sure exactly, but it'll be fall 2025, and I'm super excited. And as soon as we have information, we will post it and you guys can start applying, and it's going to be so much fun. And please leave us a review if you haven't already done so. If you have already done so and it'll let you do it again, Why not? Follow us on social media. We're That Pretentious Book Club. You can follow us on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook. We are all over the place, although Instagram is what we use the most. It's where all of the recipes for our drinks are and all the memes that we put out and everything else. So follow us there. If you guys have a book rec like Jane did with this amazing book, I just gave it five pinkies up. Like Jane, you gave me a five pinkies up book. That's amazing. So if you
That's
have
so
a book
great.
that you think may in fact reach my heightened perception of five pinkies up, then go ahead and submit it to us as a suggestion. I
Yes.
literally I'm a real dummy. So like it doesn't take like that much work to impress me.
That,
But
okay, that's not true. But if you think you can impress Wheezy, yes, please send it.
if you think you can impress me or even mildly amuse me, honestly, like I'm here for it all. I have even Hamlet, which I hate, I enjoyed. So Even if you're like, this is a book that I hate, but I want you to read it and talk about how much you hate it. Like, I'm here for it. I would absolutely love to
Yes.
do some
We need more
alcohol-fueled
where we
hate.
dislike them, I think. Because
Yeah,
we
I think
mostly like
so.
everything.
I know we're just too positive. We should start being more hateful, I think.
We're
Maybe
just
that's
really
what we're
nice.
lacking. That's
We
why our reviews
hateful.
are so like like, milk toast, lukewarm. We should just start hating everything.
Yeah, that's the key, I think.
I think so. So if you have a book that you think we would hate, also go ahead and message us about it or email us at contact@storysirenstudio.com. We love to hear from you guys. Love to hear about what you're reading. If you're writing something, we love to hear about what you're writing. I think that's everything that we've got for you guys. So until next episode, keep your teacups full
Your pinky's high.
and your book club
Pretentious.